Hey, Bellator Nation, follow us across a large array of digital platforms and stay up to date on everything you need to know. Like us on the Bellator Facebook page and see exclusive videos. Follow us and get instant updates on Twitter at Bellator MMA and get a chance to have your tweet live on the broadcast. See amazing pictures on Instagram at Bellator MMA. Join Bellator Nation today. The new Bellator MMA app is here. New look, new features, new fights. Watch live weigh-ins and prelims. Share your fight picks. Earn points and badges as you rank up to the heavyweight division. And stay up to date on events, rankings, and news. For all the latest features, download the new Bellator MMA app. Available on the App Store and Google Play.
Tonight, it's a tale of two championships in the Bellator cage. The light heavyweight Grand Prix final is the culmination of a circuitous path to a redux of the championship showdown. Instead of crowning the division's king and celebrating a presentation of the $1 million bonus check, we witnessed an anticlimactic ending.
The fight was stopped due to an accidental clash of heads. The fight has been ruled a no contest.
This night, we expect closure to the tourney. And for Nemkov or Anderson to cash in on the big prize. In our other title fight, it's a battle of legacies and bloodlines. Lightweight champion Patricky Pitbull is following in the footsteps of his renowned and highly decorated younger brother. The undefeated challenger, Usman Nurmagomedov, has his own celebrated lineage.
And there it is, Usman Nurmagomedov getting it done in scintillating fashion.
This is his opportunity to join his fabled cousin, Habib, as a belt holder.
I just want to fight for title.
Could the winds of change blow through Chicago? Or will the champions continue to reign? Situated on the southwestern shores of one of the 5 Great Lakes, in this case Michigan, Chicago, Illinois is one of the great cities in America. Home of the world's first skyscraper, it features stellar skyline views. Tonight, the American Architectural Award-winning Wintrust Arena plays host to its first Bellator MMA event. It is the weekend before Thanksgiving, and we have prepared a fistic feast with all the fixins, including a double helping of Bellator Championship action. Champion Vadim Nemkov and local favorite Corey Anderson run back the Grand Prix final, with both looking to stay unbeaten inside the Bellator cage. Meanwhile, Patricky Pitbull is in search of his promotional record 11th knockout victory in his first lightweight title defense against the undefeated #1 contender, Usman Nurmagomedov, who competes in his first 5-round fight. Greetings from the city of the big shoulders, alongside a guy with big shoulders, Big John McCarthy. I'm Mauro Ranallo, and John, let's talk about our title twin bill, beginning with unfinished business in the light heavyweight World Grand Prix final.
Well, you know what happened in that first one. And you talk about unfinished business. Corey Anderson started right away. Even before he left the cage, he started with the mental warfare on Vadim Nemkov because he was not looking straight ahead. He was looking at Vadim Nemkov, basically saying, you know what was happening, you know where this fight was going, I was going to be the champion, and now he just needs to go into round 4. But if you're Vadim Nemkov, you really need to look at this as, this is new life, this is a new beginning, and you need to go back to the things that you were successful with in the beginning of that fight, especially the low leg kicks. You got to start off fast, you got to start off strong. The low leg kicks are a key to his victory.
The 155-pound division is expected to get the tournament treatment next year, and the question of who will enter that Grand Prix as champion will be answered in our co-main event.
Oh, it will be, because we have one of the pillars of Bellator MMA in Patricky Pitbull. Him and his brother have been fantastic. He won the championship, beating Peter Quilley in Ireland, and he did it the way he does it all the time, with power. He knocked him out. He has got one-punch power. The guy he's facing, yes, he's got the Nurmagomedov name, but he is a different fighter than his cousin Khabib. He is a fantastic stand-up fighter. Beautiful kicks, unbelievable hand movement, and he can also wrestle just like his cousin and take the fight to the ground. This is a fantastic matchup.
Also on tap here tonight at Bellator 288. Two-time featherweight title challenger, number 7 ranked Daniel Weichel welcomes the unbeaten Timur Hizriev to the Bellator cage for the first time. Number 5 ranked heavyweight Tyrell Fortune takes on Chicago's Daniel James, who returns to the promotion 8 years after winning his pro debut in Bellator. And with 17 of their combined 18 victories coming via form of knockout, welterweights Roman Feraldo and Levon Chokoli are ready to throw down in Chi-Town.
Number 10 ranked Roman Feraldo. Take a look at that flying knee, because he's not only done that once, he has done that twice in the Bellator cage. This is a guy that calls his shots. Take a look. He says, oh yeah, I know you're hurt, and here it comes. Here you go, boof, and you are out. Roman Feraldo, 8 wins as a professional in MMA, 8 knockouts. This man has power. Look at that. Beautiful left hand, walk away. This is a man that can explode at any moment and put anyone away.
He joins Adam Boric, Michael Venom Page as the only fighters with multiple knee knockouts in Bellator as we go to the tail of the tape.
Look at the tail of the tape for this welterweight matchup, and it is a fantastic one. Levon Chokoli at 10-2. Unbelievable stand-up, good ground, 8-0 with power. Roman Feraldo, this is going to be fun.
From the Wintrust Arena in Chicago, Illinois, it's time to kick off the main card of Bellator 288. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Chicago for Bellator MMA Live on Showtime from Wintrust Arena. We extend a special welcome to the brave men and women serving around the world and joining us tonight live on AFN, the American Forces Network. Here at Bellator 288, we get underway with 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing the blue corner first. At 6 foot, weighing in 170.6 pounds. His professional record, 10 wins, 2 losses. From Tbilisi, Georgia, introducing Levon Chokoli. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 6 foot 1, weighing in 170.8 pounds, the undefeated professional stands perfect with 8 victories, no defeats. By way of Key West, he fights out of Coconut Creek, Florida, the Renaissance Man, Vicious Roman Feraldo. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge, Rob Madrigal.
Roman Feraldo has 6 wins via first-round KO, including his previous 4. He's never fought past the second round. Levon Chokoli, 9 of his 10 wins have come via first-round KO. He has 7 wins by KO in under a minute. Calf kick immediately delivered by Chokoli, and
Oh, he stung him already.
he gets stung as Geraldo lands the left hand. And what about Geraldo calling a shot? And now, speaking of shots, a shot by Chokoli looking for the takedown, and Geraldo has to be careful. Don't hang on to that cage.
Now, there is no doubt he used that cage to keep himself from going face first into that corner section of the cage. Chokoli had talked about utilizing a good wrestling attack to wear down Geraldo, take away some of that power, and then knock him out.
And immediately Chokoli going for the choke.
But he does not have his legs attached, and so that's going to cause him a problem. He's going to end up underneath in this. He's got to hold on to that head as much as he can, but Geraldo's in a good position. He's the top position. High head will win in this position, and this is what you're seeing Chokoli trying to hold on to that. Nice job by Roman Geraldo to get himself out.
Delivers a knee as they continue at close quarters, and then delivers a combo on the break. Head movement from Chokoli. Throws the right hand, goes back to southpaw. Minute and a half gone, and you almost feel it, John, the tension in the air, knowing that at any time this fight can end.
Boy, both of these guys are throwing heavy shots.
Kick knocking Chokoli off balance. Geraldo coming forward, and they are both throwing with bad intentions as expected.
Geraldo doing a very nice job of switching from orthodox into southpaw.
Telegraphed that shot, and it was stopped by Geraldo. Judo throw right into full mount. Beautiful sequence by Roman Geraldo.
Outstanding hard goes. Drives him over the top. Beautiful takedown by Roman Geraldo.
And I always thought it was Harigoshin. I think it is. 2:45 left in the first.
You want to put an E at the end.
No, and I. Geraldo with a beautiful start to this fight midway through the opening round, ground and pound, delivering those sledgehammer-like elbows, and now Chokoli was giving up his back, but beautifully turns into Geraldo. Great grappling sequence here, John.
That was a very nice move by Chokoli. A small mistake by Geraldo allowed him to be able to turn inside of that and end up turning the position. That's why a lot of guys don't like going to mount, is there is that chance that you can end up on your back with your opponent in guard.
Geraldo's 5-fight Bellator winning streak at welterweight, tied for the second longest active streak in the division, behind current 170-pound champion Yaroslav Amosov with 6. And chants of Roman begin to echo throughout Trust Arena, the native of Key West, Florida, the southernmost point of the United States.
Right now, as you're looking, Roman Geraldo, he's moving his hips. He's actually trying to land some shots. Chokoli he's holding on at this point. He's really not trying to do any damage. Now he's getting some space, but cannot let this time go by. He has the opportunity to do damage, and he needs to.
Chokoli and Geraldo trying to get back up. Chokoli in top position, working from after that knee shield being put in place by Geraldo. And he controls Chokoli's posture for the moment. Coming up on the final minute of the first.
And right here in this position, being close is good for Roman Geraldo. Space is not going to be good as far as that allows Chokoli to put power on his shots.
Final 45 seconds of the opening round. Hammer fist from the bottom by Geraldo. Now Chokoli postured, looking to ground and pound. Missing with a lot of those shots, however. Now tries to pass guard, does so at the back of Chokoli with 30 seconds remaining in the round.
And in that scramble situation, Geraldo needed to continue to turn that corner, and he stopped, and that's what gave Chokoli the ability to take that back.
Side control, Chokoli. Final 10 seconds. Chokoli looking for a crucifix potentially, but just pressure on Geraldo on the ground. Stop. You expect a striking smorgasbord, John, so of course you're going to see wrestling.
Well, Levon Chokli had talked about, I need to be a mixed martial artist. I need to be very complete, and I need to use both.
There was
you saw him hurt him there. But Feraldo also hurt Levon Chokli in this. This was a beautiful, actually Tayatoshi is what it was, because you saw that toe on the ground. Beautiful job of getting them out, but then Chokli turned it. And from that point, he landed the bigger shots. A close round for both guys. But I think Levon Chokli is going to end up taking that 10-9.
Let's go. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Come on. Mr. Mouthpiece. Mr. Mouthpiece. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Back up, back up. Get out of the circle.
Second round. Feraldo lands the right, and then Chokli responding wildly, looking for the takedown, but Feraldo again looking to fire the kill shot here in the second. The head kick blocked. And another kick from Chokli blocked.
Beautiful job by both guys going at it here. Feraldo is a little bit crushing his space. He has got power. You can see when he just lands the effect it has on his opponent.
Chokli fighting out of Kaizen MMA in Virginia, also working with Phoenix Sport Academy in his native Georgia. And again, Feraldo looking for that judo throw, but this time Chokli able to fend it off and ends up in top position in the open guard of Feraldo.
And right there you saw Feraldo going for that same takedown. Yep. This time Chokli said, oh no, not going to work a second time. I figured it out.
He's done his homework.
And he brings it back to the backside and now has Feraldo on his back.
And it's all about the adjustments, John, on the fly, knowing that how evenly matched up they are in so many departments. You want to make sure that you are the one imposing your will and skill. And for Feraldo, who finds himself on his back here in round number 2, hasn't had to taste a lot of adversity, going 5-0 with 5 first-round finishes, but Chokli giving him a tough night at the office here in round number 2.
Yeah, right there you would have liked to see Feraldo be able to push off on the hips, but Chokli quickly moved himself off to the side into side control position now. Feraldo needs to get that underhook. He gets this near side underhook, get his hand in there and start to build a base back into Chokli to get himself back to his feet.
Chokli feeling the pressure as well, coming off a loss to Goichi Yamauchi at Bellator 279 in April when he was submitted by the current submissions leader in Bellator. And now it's Chokli looking for the submission on Feraldo.
That was a nice heavy shot by Chokli right there. Feraldo needs to fight those hands, make sure he doesn't let that arm slip around, get that lock in. Good job of getting back to his feet. Oh, very heavy kick by Chokli. Well timed and well placed.
And Feraldo going to the body, push kick by Chokli. Feraldo's currently ranked number 10. Chokli wants to take that number from him. Now Feraldo putting his weight on Chokli as Chokli looking for the takedown, but running out of real estate along the fence, scooping the single.
That was a beautiful dip and rip with the left hook by Levon Chokli. Landed cleanly. The big difference we're seeing is Chokli is able to do some damage on Feraldo where everybody else we've watched have never had that opportunity.
You know, Chokli knows all about Dagestan's wrestling pedigree, the reputation. He's like, hey, don't forget us Georgians when it comes to grappling.
Roman using a nice whizzer on top. Needs to bring that leg back, extend those arms on Chokli.
Minute and a half left in the second round, and Chokli determined to get the takedown as Feraldo has the underhooks. And now Chokli pulling away from the fence and creating some separation. Nice lead left hook curling behind the guard of Feraldo. Feraldo lands a straight left and a nice left right from Chokli, but Chokli got staggered by Feraldo. And Chokli hanging on, trying desperately. He's been rattled, John.
Been rattled multiple times, but he's always he's made it through so far. It was the real question after all this wrestling maneuver. How are their arms? Are their arms getting heavy? Geraldo still has snap on his punch.
This has already been the longest fight in Roman Geraldo's burgeoning career. We mentioned he's never been past the second round. 30 seconds from going to the third round. Here's he drops elbows on Chokely. Chokely looking to just take him off his feet.
Well, the referee just took a point from Geraldo for grabbing the fence.
And that's happened on another occasion in the fight. So Chokely with the advantage there with Geraldo getting a point deducted. Geraldo up in top position. Full mount. Trying to steal the round, but again, he's had a point deducted.
That's right.
And for the first time, Roman Geraldo will see round number 3.
Foul. Right. 1 point. 1 point for grabbing the cage. 1 point for the cage grab. What?
Here's the grab of the cage right there. You see how that, as he's pulling him back, it ends up pulling him back into the cage. That is exactly when you are supposed to take a point, when that fighter actually alters the position and stops the takedown. 1 point deduction from Roman Geraldo by the referee.
Chopping left hand by Geraldo that dropped Chokely. So third and final round. Geraldo's conditioning going to be tested first time. This first time he sees the final frame. Referee making it official. John, how do you have it on your unofficial scorecard, taking into account the point deduction to Geraldo?
Well, that was a round 1 by Geraldo, in my opinion, so that goes to a 9-9 based upon the point deduction. So right now, Levon Chokely's ahead on my scorecard. Roman Geraldo needs to win this round, not to only try to win the fight, but could be a draw.
Outside low kick delivered by Chokely, backing up as Geraldo marches forward and slips the left hand and almost lands a counter left of his own to Geraldo. Geraldo again with a chopping combination.
Geraldo's landing with a lot of power. The only problem is at times when he's coming into Chokely, he's getting too close, which is kind of stifling his ability to get his strikes on.
And it's Geraldo with the advantage in the total strikes landed. Fighting out of American top team under the tutelage of Mike Brown. And that great crew in the Sunshine State. Good exchange, John.
Very nice exchange. Chokely actually, he stung him with that. You saw Geraldo actually freeze for a moment.
Calf kick by Chokely.
Chokely showing that his arms are heavy, though. He is tired at this point.
His hands are at his waist. Chokely with the right cross.
But notice that Chokely's punches are coming from the sides. Big looping shots. Geraldo needs to go right down the middle.
Geraldo blocked that head kick. There's a counter right connects for Chokely, and Geraldo feeling that shot. And Geraldo coming forward with an uppercut.
Geraldo ate that thing like it was a Toll House cookie. Like he loved it.
Left hook, right hand. Here's Geraldo left of his own. So pace has slowed as Chokely level change and gets the takedown. Butterfly hooks by Geraldo. Half butterfly now, but this is a critical takedown for Chokely at this stage of the fight.
Absolutely, because all he's got to do is hold on to this position, just do a little bit of damage from the top. He's got to win, in my opinion. So Geraldo's got to work. He's got to work to get himself back to his feet. That point deduction was huge in the second round.
Geraldo trying to control Chokely's posture. Open guard against the fence past the midway point of the final round. The fans anticipated fistic fireworks. You look at the numbers, that's what everyone expected. But hey, mixed martial arts, and Levon Chokli knowing full well Geraldo's record coming in the fashion in which he did his business. Smart game plan, smart strategy.
Absolutely smart, but they've seen some fistic fireworks because when these guys have been on the feet, they've been throwing heavy leather and just blasting each other.
Levon, you need to improve.
Referee saying that Chokli needs to impose. He's in top position, trying to create separation. And yet for Geraldo, again, has to find a way to try to get this back to his feet. Piston-like shots, ground and pound from Chokli.
Very nice job by Chokli. See, that was the moment right there. Geraldo had a chance. There was space.
Yes.
That was your time to move. And instead, he was just unable to get there based upon being just a little bit tired. Everything is just hurting now.
Well, again, uncharted waters for Geraldo as we look at the strikes landed here in round 3, and a huge edge for Chokli with a minute left in the fight. And perhaps a minute left in the undefeated record of Roman Geraldo, barring a dramatic turn of events here in the final 50 seconds, Joe.
Absolutely. But this has been a fantastic performance by Levon Chokli.
What's impressed you the most?
He's used heavy strikes. He's used good stand-up. He's used the wrestling. He's done everything right in mixing up his attacks. He's taken big shots. He's gotten close to get time to get himself back in the fight. He's been very good throughout this matchup.
And regardless of the outcome, a learning experience for both. And for Roman Geraldo, 20 seconds left, remains on his back, pinned against the fence, smothering pressure from top position by Chokli, but now back up to a vertical base. But Chokli uses his striking, his wrestling, his complete arsenal. And Levon Chokli, again, John, we mentioned, coming off a loss to Yamauchi, a very determined effort, again able to execute his game plan, and it's up to the judges now to determine the victor. But where do you feel Roman Geraldo was lacking in your mind in terms of what you witnessed tonight?
You know, lacking would be the wrong thing to say. It's this. Levon Chokli was not lacking. He was up to the task of putting it on Geraldo also. He stood up to the heavy strikes, and when he got hurt, he used the grappling to get himself back into the fight as far as taking time.
I meant Geraldo. What was he lacking in terms of his overall fight? Because he was unable to reverse his fortunes from this position.
First thing he was unable to do is gain the space that he needed to finish. When he did hurt Levon Chokli in the second is when he was taken down. He was unable to really get off his back.
And there is that Georgian flag, and for Roman Geraldo, being helped to his feet. Grueling affair, feeling the pressure, the strength of Levon Chokli as the two warriors embrace and await the judge's verdict. With the official decision, here is Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 non-stop rounds of action, we'll go now to your judges' scorecards. All 3 judges at cage side, Brian Puccello, Mike Bell, and Scott Jones, see it exactly the same at 29-27. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Levon Chokli.
Last time he took an L, but tonight he bounces back in big-time fashion. Levon Chokli has just handed Roman Geraldo his first professional setback. Geraldo falling to 8-1, 5-1 here in Bellator's knockout streak is over, but for Levon Chokli, a huge victory, improving to 11-2 with 1 no contest, moving to 2-2 in the Bellator promotion.
The Bellator Bantamweight World Grand Prix features 8 of the top 135ers in the world, all with their eyes on the $1 million prize.
The quarterfinal action got underway at Bellator 279 with Patchy Mix taking on Kyoji Horiguchi, and Mix showed no love to the former bantamweight champion as he advanced with a unanimous decision victory.
I'm coming for that million. I'm coming for that belt.
Then, in a showdown for the interim world title, Rafion Super Stotts faced off against another former champion, Juan Archuleta. The Grand Prix action resumed at Bellator 282 with Magomed Magomedov facing Enrique Barzola.
That is tight. Got his legs engaging that. There it is.
He does it via guillotine choke in the 4th round. It will be Magomed Magomedov meeting Patchy Mix in the semifinals. The last quarterfinal matchup featured Danny Sabatello taking on Leandro Ego. The Italian gangster put on a clinic and dominated all 5 rounds to secure a unanimous decision victory.
I want to say congratulations to Danny Sabatello because you won yourself an ass whooping. So congratulations!
Stotts versus Sabatello at Bellator 289, December 9th, live from the Mohegan Sun Arena.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you just saw up on that board, the Bantamweight World Grand Prix is in the semifinals, and on December 9th, in the Mohegan Sun, we will have a main event featuring Danny, the Italian gangster Sabatello, up against the interim champion, Rafion Super Stotts. Danny Sabatello, come on up here real quick. You guys have had a lot of words, have been saying a lot of things. In fact, he just said up on that board that you earned yourself an ass whooping. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, this pussy standing across from me is a little fucking bitch. I wish I was fighting him tonight in front of this beautiful Chicago crowd, but we're gonna have to wait for December 9th for me to carve up this motherfucker's face.
Rafion Stotts, you are the interim champion based upon your beautiful victory and knockout of Juan Archuleta. You have said some things about him. He has said some things about you. Just heard that. What is your response?
The fact of the matter is, who want to see me fuck this dude up? And that's the bottom line. I'm fucking you up.
Ladies and gentlemen, on December 9th, you're going to see Danny Sabatello, the Italian gangster, against Rafion Super Stotts for the interim championship and a chance to get to the finals of the Bellator Featherweight World Grand Prix.
So we anticipate that, well, the time for talking will eventually end. December 9th, Mohegan Sun, Rafion Super Stotts defending the interim championship against Danny Sabatello in the Bantamweight World Grand Prix. Let's go back to Amanda Guerra.
Moro, good evening. Amanda Guerra, 2-time world champ, and Josh Thompson with you here on the fight desk all night long at Bellator 288. Josh, 3 weeks from now, we get that fight, December 9th at Mohegan. They're the main event. How excited are you for that one?
Moro said the time to talking will come to an end here.
No,
so
they've been talking all the time.
Absolutely not. They're never going to stop talking. They're going to talk after they win, after they lose. Doesn't matter what happens. They'll continue to talk.
It's going to be absolutely incredible. And just earmuffs, you know, earmuffs the whole time if you don't want to hear the foul language, because you're going to hear it from now until then. All right, that is coming up December 9th. We have so much coming up here tonight. Let's talk about our main event, a highly anticipated rematch of the light heavyweight World Grand Prix final between Vadim Nemkov and Corey Anderson. The winner will tonight get $1 million. Now, Josh, this is a rematch because of what's going to happen here in just a second. An accidental headbutt there, a nasty cut over Vadim Nemkov's head. You're going to see all the blood gushing from it in a second. Crowd was disappointed, but was that the right call?
Absolutely, it was the right call. And also, when we talked to Corey Anderson this week, he said, I didn't want to win the tournament that way. I didn't want to win the title that way. And he has a lot of credibility behind his name that was at stake when he said that. And I believe him. He just needs to come out and pick up where he left off, like he had talked about. This is round 4. if he can continue to do that, I think he's going to have a successful night.
So let's talk about Vadim Nemkov on the other side of that, because look, he was losing that fight up until that happened. He said, I wasn't used to that American style of wrestling that Corey Anderson had. He moved to the United States to get ready for tonight, to work with American wrestlers, but is that going to be enough?
We're going to find out. That's why we fight the fight. But he's been training with Johnny Evelyn, who's the middleweight champion in Bellator. He's been training with Dalton Rasta. He's been training with Austin Vanderford, Yaroslav Amosov. He's been there at American Top Team with some top-level wrestlers. But all of those guys are extremely good in the wrestling department at American Top Team. But none of them are the size of Corey Anderson.
We'll see what's going to happen there. That is our main event tonight. But we have two championship bouts from you. Our co-main event tonight. Talk about two historic families going head-to-head here. We have Patricky Pitbull going up against Usman Nurmagomedov. Patricky Pitbull putting his lightweight belt on the line. He is 36 years old. Usman Nurmagomedov undefeated, 24. Now, Josh, I got to ask you, first of all, every person here is trying to get a picture with you tonight. We keep getting interrupted because everyone wants a picture with Josh. You've been in the cage with Patricky. You have trained with Usman. From your experience, what do they both bring tonight?
They both bring a lot to the table. Obviously, everyone understands Patricio and Patricky both bring power every time they step inside that cage. They've got power in both hands, and they also got explosive flying knees and leg kicks when they throw them. Now, Usman, he brings a full repertoire of his tools. He's got great wrestling, which you very rarely see, but he's got outstanding kickboxing. His side kicks, his spinning back kicks, and his reach and range, along with the youth of his speed, will play a factor. He will look to use that side kick, look to use the side kicks to the head kicks, and keep that range and distance. And as Patricky tries to close the distance, he will try to look for the easy takedown.
And this is a different Patricky Pitbull we've seen. He is, more mature, obviously, as a family, and he's taking this very seriously. He wants to keep those belts with his brother tonight.
It means a lot to him. This is his first title defense. He's really going to go out there and try to lay it on the line. He said this was his toughest training camp that he's had to date.
And he said it all started with heart. That is our co-main event and main event coming up tonight. Two belts on the line. Now we will send it back down to Moro to get us ready for some heavyweights, Moro. And you are never going to be an overnight celebrity. Do you get that? I got it now, Moro. I'm ready.
Oh, well, maybe get ready for some slow jams, because we do have a former bodyguard of Twista. And let's face it, if Daniel James' hand speed is half as fast as Twista's flow, he might prove to be a problem for Tyrell Fortune, who is ranked at number 5 in the heavyweight division.
And now we welcome to the cage the American Predator, Daniel James.
Daniel James turns 41 on New Year's Eve. John and I will have to wish him a happy birthday when we call Team Bellator versus Team Horizon from the Saitama Super Arena that night. But Daniel James returning to the Bellator MMA cage 8 years after winning his pro debut in Bellator. Currently on a 3-fight win streak. As we mentioned, has a lot of famous friends and is definitely a fan favorite in these parts.
And he is just a big man. Look at Daniel James as a good fighter. This is a guy that's been going over to Eastern Europe to get fights, and they don't bring you there to win. They want to beat you, and he has been putting up win after win after win. This man knows exactly where he's strong on the ground, and he gets in the top position. You are going to accept huge damage. He is a handful.
And now set to make his way, Tyrell Fortune.
32-year-old Tyrell Fortune, 12-2 with 1 no contest as a pro, all inside the Bellator MMA cage. His 9 stoppage wins in Bellator's heavyweight division, and his 8 knockout victories in heavyweight competition in Bellator, the most in divisional history. Hey, he's all about racking up impressive stats, but what he really has designs on is a shot at the heavyweight crown, and we now know Ryan Bader will defend the heavyweight title against Fedor February 4th, Bellator MMA's debut on CBS.
Absolutely, and this is Tyrell Fortune, and you see, there he goes being smart. Big looping shots the outside, but no, it's the uppercuts coming up the middle, and that's where his fight IQ is getting better and better. He used to just stay with those shots to the outside. Now he's doing the smart things. He's got an incredible wrestling background. He is a handful. This heavyweight matchup, when you look at it, it says 6'2" for Tyrell Fortune, 6'6", 264 pounds for Daniel James, and he is cutting to that because he's walking to this cage at least 275.
Here is Michael C. Williams.
Live on Showtime, Bellator MMA now features the heavyweight division scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. We introduce first the blue corner. At 6'6", weighing in 264.8 pounds, in his return to the Bellator cage, he brings 13 professional victories, 6 losses, 1 draw, hailing from Chicago, Illinois, presenting Daniel, the American Predator, James. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 6'2", weighing in 257.2 pounds, ranked now at number 5. His professional record includes 12 wins, 2 defeats, fighting out of Tempe, Arizona by way of Portland, Oregon, introducing Tyrell Fortune. And the referee in charge, Rob Madrigal.
Tyrell Fortune out of Arizona Combat Sports with 5 wins via first-round TKO. Daniel James out of Midwest Training Center, 5 first-round finishes, including 4 KOs. The heavyweights getting ready to throw down. 6'6", cutting down from 280 pounds to make 265 is Daniel James. Hey, Tyrell Fortune, 6'2", and as you mentioned, John, has the speed factor because of the size and the ability to use that lateral movement, but the American Predator just caught a kick, and he is looking to feed Tyrell Fortune some ferocious punches.
And that is exactly what Daniel James does. He's got very good defensive wrestling. He's spent a lot of his career working with Curtis Blades on his wrestling, and so his defensive wrestling is actually really good when he gets up against the cage. He puts a lot of weight on you. He makes you carry that weight. That's something that Tyrell has to be very cautious of. I don't want to carry this man's weight. If he starts to put so much weight down on me, I want to break off and reestablish. Get to the single leg. Don't go to the double leg so you get stuck underneath.
Well, for the American Predator, as my former broadcast partner, Boss Rudin, would so eloquently put it, just took one to the pills.
Tyrell brings the knee up right here. Comes right up. Hits the top of the cup there. A little bit of a reaction from Daniel, but Daniel's a tough man.
You got time.
Shot to a place that's anything but the toughest part of a man's anatomy, except for the cup is the only thing protecting him. And he took a nasty knee, but like you say, John, he came back to Bellator. He's here to earn a living for his family. And he's always wanted to compete in Bellator. He's been singing the praises of this promotion for a long time, and 8 years after winning his debut, he's back against a guy who is number 5 in the rankings.
Look, this is a big chance. And like I said, Daniel James was fighting in Eastern European countries.
And the takedown.
That's what you want to see out of Tyrell Fortune. Put the big man on his back. Now his weight means nothing. And now start to posture and do some damage.
Fortune, a 2-time state wrestling champion in his home state, Arizona, and also an NCAA Division II national champion at Grand Canyon University.
That's right, also a world team member.
So he knows his wrestling.
A man knows how to wrestle.
And for Daniel James, now sitting along the fence, maybe trying to find a way to use his ample size and girth to try to get back to his feet, use his hips, but Fortune right on top of him.
Well, there's a little battle going on right here. That's, you see, I say, Daniel James knows I can't let him start to push me to one side or the other. I want to keep myself with my back on that cage, and I want to post to get up. But right now, you're seeing Tyrell Fortune taking and controlling that left leg. That's not going to help in getting Daniel James back to his feet.
Fortune also delivering shots to James' body, making the investment here in the first round, and James has to be careful with those elbows. And grappling going on. 2 minutes left in the first round.
Tyrell needs to utilize his head right now. Use it as a third arm. Start to drive Daniel James to one side or the other.
Fortune said something to the referee.
Said he's grabbing inside of my glove.
And while Fortune continues to neutralize the left leg of James, it is incumbent upon Fortune to maximize this position and do damage on James along the fence.
And that's the one thing you're not seeing. Tyrell is doing zero as far as damage in this. He is controlling the position, but controlling the position is not scoring him any points.
But not for long, as he's trying to stay on. James back here snatches the rear naked choke.
James needs to get that top hand off.
Tyrell Fortune, 1 minute left, looking for that rear naked choke.
Tyrell going more towards the palm to palm. He's grabbing hold of his fingers there.
He has one submission win via RNC. It came back in August of 2019 against Rudy Shafroth. His only submission win, but he is on the verge of spoiling Daniel James' return to Bellator.
No, Daniel James has got that. He is in control right now. He had that. Now he just went back to it. Nice job by Daniel James to turn inside.
Reversal by James, but he was holding on to the fence.
And this is a bad position.
And
underneath Daniel James.
The reversal of Fortune for James on Tyrell Fortune. Final seconds of the round. This Chicago crowd erupting. Wow, what a turnaround for Daniel James.
And this is the difference. Look at, we have control and now we have damage.
Heavyweights delivering the drama. Tyrell Fortune was fishing for his second rear naked choke victory. And just like that, Daniel James turned things around. And as you mentioned, John, delivered damage. The one criteria, effective aggression.
Take a look when he goes to get up here. Now he loses the position, and you see Tyrell Fortune getting that neck. But he remained calm. He is a guy who is a veteran of the sport. He eventually escapes this position and turns inside. Here he comes with a turn. That was a beautiful job of turning the position by Daniel James. And once he did, Morrow, he started posturing and delivering heavy shots.
All right, guys, let's go. Daniel, you got some mouthpiece?
The ebb and flow of mixed martial arts and really putting it on Tyrell Fortune in the final moments of the first.
Round two.
James credited with landing 20 strikes in that opening round compared to just 8 for Fortune. Fortune 1 for 1 in the takedown department. And John, your unofficial scorecard.
Oh, he's out. That was a big shot.
Cut by Fortune.
Fortune is in trouble. You cannot have this guy hitting you like that.
By James. Elbows to the back of the head, but it's over. Daniel James, the American Predator, just vanquished Tyrell Fortune. What a memorable return to Bellator for the hometown hero.
Unbelievable job by Daniel James. That last 35 seconds of the first round gave him a rejuvenated feel. He knew that he could do damage. Look at this shot. Big miss by Tyrell Fortune, but watch the right hand.
Whoa.
Up, undercut. He is starch right there, frozen. Here's another angle. Watch the big-time uppercut. Left hand misses, right hand on target. Hits the chin. You see that Fortune was frozen for a moment. He's able to actually catch himself going down, but unable to stop any of the damage once he hit the ground.
The uppercut allows Daniel James to lower the boom, knocking out Tyrell Fortune, sending Fortune to his, well, that's the second time that he has been, make it third time now that he's been stopped via form of KO. First one to Timothy Johnson, so yes, in fact, the second knockout stoppage for Fortune, and the fortunes are rising for Daniel James.
Listen, you heavyweights out there, I'm telling you right now, Daniel James is here, and Bellator, y'all better watch out.
Daniel James putting the heavyweight division on notice. Let's make it official with Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, it comes to an end. 27 seconds into round number 2 by TKO. The winner, Chicago's very own Daniel, the American Predator, James.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with your hometown man, Mr. Daniel James. Daniel, let's talk about that fight. He took you down in the first round, but you were able to keep him from doing any real damage to you. And when you finally get to the point where you fought off that choke and you turned the position, you opened up. How much did that give you as far as confidence going into the second round?
Well, John, man, first off, thanks, Chicago. I love y'all so much. Like, love you. Like, I can't even, but that first round, you know, we worked our game plan, and we knew that we wanted to get the guy to commit to a takedown. So we focused on a lot of uppercuts. This fight was gonna be won by uppercut or from a ground and pound. I said that yesterday in our meeting. But today, when he put me in that choke, it been times that I said, you know what? He wasn't committed to that choke, and we big boys, I felt it. I felt myself blacking out. But I'm like a fish, I breathe underwater. You know what I'm saying? I call my second win. And it's showtime. It's showtime at Showtime in Chicago. I'm telling you straight up. Let's keep it going, Chicago. I'm in the building. Make some fucking noise. It's not enough. Make some noise now. Let's go.
You hit him. You missed with that big left hand, but that uppercut that you're talking about, it touched that chin perfectly. He was frozen going down. You jumped on top of him. You ended this fight. That was a fantastic finish. This is your second fight in the Bellator cage, but they came about 12 years apart, it seems like. But who is it that you just took out the number 5 guy with a big-time win? Who is it you should be fighting the next time you step in here?
Well, I am number 5. I'm number 5. Excuse me, but Scott Coker, I'm here, baby. You need some, you need a pretty chocolate heavyweight. I'm here, let's go. Straight up, we got the market, we got everything. My hair long, I look good, I'm built nice. Let's go, I can fight, I'm number 5. What's next? Stop waiting. Let's go.
Chicago, get on your feet and give it up for your man, the American Predator, Daniel James.
One couldn't script a better scenario for the return of Daniel James to Bellator MMA. 8 years ago, he won his pro debut here in this cage, and now he returns and records the biggest win of his career, knocking off the number 5 ranked Tyrell Fortune. The mixed martial arts community is mourning the untimely passing of Anthony Rumble Johnson. Rumble was a member of the Bellator MMA roster, and in his final appearance in the quarterfinals of the light heavyweight World Grand Prix, he did what he does best: author a knockout victory. Unfortunately, illness knocked him out of the tournament, and he has passed away much too soon at the age of 38 after long-standing health issues. And I am joined now by Josh Thompson and Big John McCarthy. John, you were inside the cage for Johnson's 2 biggest fights when he vied for the UFC light heavyweight title on 2 occasions. We know what he was like inside the cage. How will you remember him for what he was like outside of the cage?
I gotta tell you right now, Rumble Johnson was one of the biggest punchers in MMA history. He was an absolute monster. But the thing I remember about him was what he was as a human being, and he was one of the kindest guys you could ever be around. He was funny, he was fun. He did a whole thing with it. He always protected dogs from people. He had a big thing about knockout dog fighting, and he just cared about other people. And he was that guy that made you happy to be around him. You got to spend time with Rumble Johnson. You were the lucky person.
Josh, you got to spend a lot of time with Rumble Johnson. I know you had a huge impact on his career, but as much as you had an impact on his career, I know he had a much bigger impact on your life.
Yeah, it really just came down to, I thought about all the things that I wanted to say today about how we discovered each other, how we became friends, how I cornered him, how I coached him, all of those things. But everybody saw that part of it, because that's what he was. He was a fighter, and they saw it because it was publicized. But John brought it up. The part that I want people to remember him for is the charitable work he did. He would spend his holidays with kids. He started a campaign for anti-dog fighting, and we would fight just together, but it was him. At one point, he had 12 pit bulls that he was working with and trying to save from being dog fighting. This guy is something that I know people remember him for. Rumble. That's who he was, obviously. But I want people to remember him for his humble words, the way he smiled, the way he lit up a room, and the positive feedback that he brought in. Every time I was around him, he was a great person. His smile said it all, and he deserved to live a longer life. And I'm gonna really miss him. I miss you, brother.
On behalf of all of us here at Bellator MMA, we extend our deepest condolences to the loved ones and the fans around the world of Anthony Rumble Johnson. He was the architect of one of the greatest highlight reels in mixed martial arts history. 17 of his 23 wins were spawned by his devastating striking. But behind the power was the person.
I don't know, man. My way of thinking when it comes to fighting is just different. I've always seen myself as somebody who's goal-driven, dedicated to whatever situation I'm in. You know, and it has a lot to do with how you're raised, you know, your mindset, what you've been through, what you've witnessed in life. And I give all the credit to my grandparents for that.
Anthony Rumble Johnson says, "No human being scares me except for my grandmother," and Rumble is ready to deliver.
The world sees one side. You know, they see me being raised by my grandparents in the country, got animals, this one right here, and all of that. And I'm all about my family. But just because I'm nice, don't think that I don't have that mean streak in me. You know what I'm saying? I let everything out when I fight.
What a shot by Johnson! And Anthony Rumble Johnson delivers the fight-finishing bomb!
What my family has been through and what I've been through, I usually can bottle that in, and then whenever I fight, I take it out on whoever I'm fighting. Nobody still did it like I did it. If you take me out, you take me out. That's just the name of the game. Just always been my spirit. I'm putting you out or you putting me out. It's gonna be something crazy, and I'd rather go out like a warrior.
And to echo what John and Josh and Mauro said, we are very honored for Rumble to have been part of the Bellator family. He will always be part of the Bellator family. We are a very close group here, so to his friends, his loved ones, his fans, we are in our thoughts, and we are with you. Back here at Bellator 288 inside the Wintrust Arena in Chicago. Our night here is far from finished. 3 more fights on our main card, including 2 5-round championship bouts. But after tonight, we're not done for the year. A couple of items to check off on your holiday MMA wish list.
The hits just keep on coming for Bellator MMA on December 9th at Mohegan Sun Arena. It's the semifinals of the Bantamweight World Grand Prix, featuring Patchy Mix versus Magomed Magomedov, and a battle between interim champion Rafion Superstats and the trash-talking Danny Sabatello. Plus, newly minted champion Liz Carmouche collides with ex-champ Juliana Velasquez in a flyweight world title rematch. And we end the year with a bang. December 31st in Japan, it's Bellator MMA versus Ryzen. Former world champions Juan Archuleta, Kyoji Horiguchi, and AJ McKee join current world champ and pound-for-pound king Patricio Pitbull as a Bellator All-Star squad takes on Ryzen's best in a battle for MMA supremacy. It's a co-promotion for the ages. New Year's Eve.
So many incredible things between now and the end of the year. But first, we are not done here tonight. Up next, someone who is looking to absolutely blow up the featherweight division. 26-year-old undefeated Timur Hizriev. He is 11-0, and talk about throwing some shade this week. He said, oh yeah, I used to watch my opponent when I was in high school. His opponent, 55 fights to his name. We're talking about Daniel Weichel coming off a TKO finish of Robert Whiteford. He said, I would like more of that. Weichel is a technician. He said he wants to make another big statement finish, but like Big John and Josh will tell you, Timur has a chance to get him out of there. He's incredibly fast. He trains with some of the best of the world. And if he wins tonight versus Weichel, he will jump into those featherweight rankings. So 55 fights versus 11, but he's undefeated. Morrow, get us ready.
Well, Daniel Weichel more than ready. 20th year as a professional mixed martial artist, competing in his 56th professional fight tonight. 3-2 since he returned to the Bellator featherweight division in September 2019. For Timur Hizriev, he turns 27 tomorrow. All 4 of his stoppage wins have come in the first round.
And now ready to make his way to the cage, Timur Hizriev.
Another product of Dagestan, which has become the MMA hotbed. Studied at the Dagestan State University of National Economy, but he's more interested on making sure that he is the name everyone remembers tonight, because John, breaking down the tape and watching the fact that he is 11-0, turning 27 tomorrow, but this is a guy who comes in with a lot of credentials, if not familiarity.
He comes in with a lot of credentials, and you talk to him, he is 11-0. Somewhere in combat sambo, he's somewhere around, he thinks 80-something, wins. And then he talks about street fights. I've had 500 of those. This guy loves to fight, and I've watched him, and he's so fast, so fluid, and transitions so well. He is a handful.
And now to make his way, Daniel Weichel.
Well, the nickname is Drake. Some people feel there is a resemblance to the Sixth God, and of course coming out to start it from the bottom. Now he's here. Yes, he is again. As a Bellator fighter, he is 11-5, but overall 42-13. 22 wins via first-round knockout or submission. 4 knockouts, 18 submissions. Hey, John, his last fight, a first-round TKO over Robert Whiteford at Bellator 281 in May. That was his first knockout win in 11 years.
Yeah, it was a beautiful shot. You saw how it froze Whiteford. Whiteford is out on his feet. They called the fight. That was a big win, coming back off of a loss for Daniel Weichel, and that brought him right back into feeling that he can still contend for a featherweight title shot.
And he is already a 2-time Bellator featherweight title challenger, falling short against Patricio Pitbull on 2 different occasions, looking to spoil the Bellator debut of the undefeated Hizriev. Let's go to the numbers, John.
As simple as it gets. Look at 37 years of age compared to 26, 11-0. 42-13, meaning this is his 56th professional fight. All that experience, will that be the difference maker?
It's time for featherweight action. Here is Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA moves now to the featherweight division, set for 3 5-minute rounds live on Showtime. We introduce the blue corner. At 5'8", weighing in 146 pounds even tonight. He makes his Bellator debut, bringing an undefeated professional record, 11 victories, no defeats, presenting Timur Imam Hisriev. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 5'10", weighing in 145.2 pounds, the veteran holds a professional record of 42 wins, 13 defeats, ranked at number 7, the 2-time world title challenger, Daniel Drake Baisho. And the referee in charge, Kevin McDonald.
No, back up for me. Back up. We're not doing a face-off. Behind that line.
No official face-off, but they're about to face off here in featherweight competition. Again, Daniel Weichel turning 38 later this month. Timur Hisriev, he turns 27 tomorrow. So Weichel, the experience advantage. Hisriev undefeated and entering his physical prime. And there's that kick right away to the midsection of Weichel.
Oh no, that touched the bottom of his chin. That was right there.
And there's an inside low kick. The speed already on display of Hisriev.
Right there with that television, you saw when you saw that big movement as Hisriev gave that feint, you saw Weichel giving all that space. Right there is telling you that, oh, he's fast, I need to move. That's a big tell in the early part of this fight.
There's a right hand behind the left of Hisriev, framing, pawing. Weichel feinting, trying to get Hisriev to bite. There's a body kick from Hisriev and an outside low kick by Weichel. Weichel was supposed to have another opponent, found out that he'd be facing Hisriev the beginning of the month, John, so not too much time. And he was going for to the face.
We talked about that with him, and he said it was actually a good thing for the change. He said that the person that I was working out with, the wrestler that I had brought in, actually mimicked Hisriev more than he did his first opponent. He said, so it actually was a benefit to me. We'll see.
Weichel landed the right. We had Hisriev probably watching the last fight, going for that right uppercut like our last fighter, Daniel James. Oh, and there's a right hand from Hisriev. 2 minutes gone in the first. Exchange.
And you can see Weichel is still fast, but Hisriev's just a little bit faster on those shots.
There's a counter, and now, boy, good exchange here in the center of the cage. Midway point of the opening round. Pumping the jab, footwork and speed again on display from Hisriev, and there's Weichel. Jumps in and then gets countered.
Weichel coming forward a lot more now in this part of the round, so he's starting to feel a little bit more confident in his ability to counter with Hisriev.
Hisriev mixing up his attack with punches and kicks. He's at double digits in connects, while Weichel right now only credited with landing 5 punches thus far. But again, trying to gather that data, John, and assess what Timur Izriev is all about. There's another exchange, but the good counter right, popping Weichel's head back.
And you watch how he did that. That was beautifully set up by Izriev. A counter right landing cleanly.
Final 60 seconds of the first frame, double jab by Izriev. And there's the change. Oh, nice cartwheel escape by Weichel, the veteran, with some tricks of his own.
Nice grappling by both. Izriev had that. As he let go of the body, you saw Weichel coming in, circling out over the top.
Solid 1-2, and then he stops Weichel with the right hand. Weichel's looking to land a front kick, John.
Yeah, Weichel's going to have to be careful.
Oh, kick caught. And again, a couple rights from Izriev.
When he's coming in, those counters are catching him every time now. He's going to have to figure out either head movement or foot movement to get himself offline from those shots.
Spinning back kick by Izriev, who completes his first round in Bellator.
Stop. Clean break.
Смотри, имам, все прокатывает, на руках перебивает.
Here Daniel Weichel lands a clean right hand right on the forehead of Izriev. But Izriev overall, when you're looking, the better shots throughout the fight ended up being Izriev's. Nice right hand counter there, pushing him back. He landed multiple right hand counters throughout that round.
Даня, вот это, Даня, все проходит.
Thank you. Round 2.
Round 2 of this featherweight fight between number 7 ranked Daniel Weichel and the debuting Timur Izriev, one of his training partners, Magomed Magomedov. He will tangle with Patchy Mix December 9th at Bellator 289 in one of the semifinals in the Bantamweight World Grand Prix. We heard from Danny Sabatello and interim champ Rafion Superstops, and thankfully Big John McCarthy was in there to keep things from overheating.
Both of those guys are so fun to be around. They talk beautiful smack.
These two, well, there's a couple of smacks to the face of Weichel by the 1-2 of Izriev. Goes downstairs to the legs with a kick.
And again, a beautiful counter right hand. Take a look at those total strikes right there. 37 of 79 for Izriev. 8 of 43 for Daniel Weichel right now.
Four-punch combination culminated with that right hand to the jaw of Weichel by Izriev, who's beginning to pick up his pace, the reads, the timing, staying just out of range, and yet, John, as we mentioned, being able to effectively counter. And there's a calf kick. Oh, good counter right hand from Weichel.
Weichel's going to have to start to open up more. He's going to have to go after it. Right now, he's not throwing with enough combinations and not enough as far as the numbers. He's got to start really utilizing his kicks and get his hands going. Because the accuracy is also not quite there right now. And Izriev just keeps on touching him.
Yeah, Izriev's just thrown, well, just crossed the 100 strike mark. So he's thrown over 100 strikes. 2 minutes gone in the second round in the fight, I should say, total strikes. And
that's got to be about twice what Weichel is throwing.
And well said, well done, John. Absolutely, 2-1 in the terms of the output. There's a Front kick to the body by Hizriev, and he's done a good job of mixing up his attack, and again staying at the perimeter. Vaishal taking a chance, costing him now because he's on his back with Hizriev in top position. Hizriev though backs away.
And this is a lot of people when they see a Dagestani fighter, they think of Khabib Nurmagomedov, and that it's going to be that crushing, wrestling. Well, Hizriev comes from Magomedov and Zabit and all them. They love the stand-up. They utilize the wrestling, but they like to be in the stand-up, and most of his fights are him utilizing his stand-up and sometimes going to the ground.
And of course, Vaishal very comfortable on the ground with 22 submissions, but right now in a butt scoop position where with 2 minutes left, Hizriev, I guess, doing just enough to, it's almost like Ali and Inoki all over again. Boy, Ali's legs were never the same.
That had a little bit of a different rule set. They didn't give much for Inoki to do besides that.
And of course, Antonio Inoki recently passing away. He will be honored New Year's Eve as part of Bellator MMA versus Ryzen. From the storied Saitama Super Arena, double jab, beautifully done, splitting the guard of Vaishal. Hizriev doing a good job of establishing the jab and doing a good job in almost every department.
Yeah, take a look at the total kicks there. Total punches landed. He's just way ahead right now. And that jab, he's now starting to establish that jab. And it's touching the mark, and that's only going to open up his other tools.
Went for the body kick. Vaishal looking to counter with the calf kick downstairs. A minute left in the second. Again, an effective jab for Hizriev. Vaishal trying to parry it. Catches that kick attempt, but Hizriev able to escape, lunging it with the left, and again, the effective counter from Hizriev.
A very nice job, and you notice he has no problem switching from southpaw to orthodox or back. And you really can't see a style where you say, well, he's just much better in this stance than he is in the other. He is good with both.
And he's obviously the advantage in this range, John, in terms of being very effective with his striking and avoiding most of the damage of Vaishal, although Vaishal's landed the occasional counter as well.
Speed's been the big difference in this fight.
Footwork and the speed of the Bellator newcomer, Timur Hizriev. We are through 2.
Stop. Clean break.
Well, we'll see if Hizriev's able to continue to bring the smoke to Daniel Vaishal here in the second round. Vaishal showing the effects of what has been a superlative striking display by Hizriev.
Back up, corner. Back up. Back up. Back up. Behind the line. Back up.
Third and final round. How do you have it after 2 on your unofficial scorecard?
Oh, right now I have Hizriev up 20-18. He has been the leader in this dance the entire time. He's landed the better shots. His speed is starting to take over, and the counter shots have been outstanding.
Nice, beautiful left hand. The punch placement to the body and immediately upstairs. Lightning quick speed, John.
It's the real difference, and this is what happens when a fighter, and look, Daniel Vaishal is a great fighter, and I love watching him fight. And he's not slow, but comparative to Hizriev, you can see there's a speed difference, and that's causing him the problems.
Snaps the jab again through the guard of Vaishal. Very active with that lead left hand is Timur Hizriev, and again switching stances, and Vaishal changed levels for a moment. Thought better of it after the reaction of Hizriev. A minute gone here in the final round. Double jab again by Hizriev.
And you look.
Nice counter.
That was a beautiful right hand over the top. Not a lot of MMA fighters utilize the jab like you'll see in boxing, but Hizriev is doing a great job with it. It's setting up all of his offense for the most part.
You know, Vadim Nemkov likes to use the jab. He is our defending light heavyweight champion. He and Corey Anderson meet in the rematch in the $1 million light heavyweight Grand Prix final in the main event after their first fight declared a no contest back in April after an accidental clash of heads opened a big cut over the left eye. Nemkov as Weichel closes the distance and pins Hizriev on the fence and takes him to the mat, gets his back.
And a beautiful job. You saw how Weichel used his leg to pick up the leg of Hizriev. That's what helped him bring him to the ground.
Began training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at 15, and Daniel Weichel, again, more than half of his 42 wins have come via form of submission, including 10 rear naked chokes, which he's in a position right now to maybe try to work on.
He needs to be very careful, though, as far as the position he's in. He's also got that leg right now, but he can go into a Suluev stretch. There's all kinds of different attacks. He's just trying to figure out what's the best thing I can do at this moment and not get too high.
That's exactly what it looks like he is beginning to think about, is that patented Suluev stretch. Not a comfortable feeling for anyone. And now looking to snatch the neck. And backdoor escape by Hizriev. Although down the arm. Weichel transitions, looking for the armbar. Hizriev defends well and escapes. And this is probably why Hizriev was content to back away from Weichel when he had him down.
Well, Weichel's a black belt under Thomas, and so he understands the ground. He's got a good submission game. Hizriev was just...
And it's obvious Hizriev has the advantage in the stand-up right now.
Absolutely, no doubt about that.
Thanks to the money punch, the fundamental stick, the jab. But he's been knocking, you know, he's been tempting with that right uppercut as well, has Hizriev. But Weichel gets sniped with that straight left, and you're right, we need to see an uptick in the offensive output of Daniel Weichel.
I don't know if Daniel can do that based upon, look, he's put out a lot trying to work hard in this round, and he's had his opportunities. It's just the speed is causing him a problem. He's pressing. He just can't get his shots off based upon Hizriev's speed.
There's a jab from Weichel, but again, 80 of 188 and counting, 18 of 96 for Weichel. So one-way traffic in all facets of this fight. Under a minute left in the fight. And the jumping knee.
He's hurt.
Weichel tagging Hizriev. He nailed him. And you're right, momentarily bothered, beginning to recover here. So Daniel Weichel looking for the dramatic conclusion, and he needs it in this fight. Continues to eat the jab of Hizriev. A kick to the face.
The front kick landed.
So two major strikes by Weichel in this round, and yet Hizriev still standing, looking to remain unbeaten in his Bellator MMA debut. Plenty to like from the fighter from Dagestan as they go the distance. The veteran Daniel Weichel and the Bellator newcomer Timur Hizriev, as good as advertised, John.
Look, he looked fantastic. Coming into an organization for the first fight is not an easy thing. There's a lot going on in your mind. It is tough. He came out here and he put on a beautiful performance against an outstanding fighter in Daniel Weichel. I have him winning the competition, but you never know what's going to happen, but I have him winning it 29-28. Beautiful. Watch this knee. Just missed a little bit off of that, but he landed a kick up here earlier too. Big shots.
All right, Timur Hizriev going to show respect for his opponent, Daniel Weichel. We will get the official decision after this. Here at Wintrust Arena in Chicago, we are set to find out who won this matchup between Daniel Weichel and Timur Hizriev in the featherweight division. Here once again, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go now to your three judges at cage side. Your first, Michael Bell, scores the fight 29-28. While judges Brian Puccello and Scott Jones both see it the same, 30-27. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Timur Hizriev.
Timur Hizriev introducing himself to the Bellator featherweight division, giving himself a great birthday present for his 27th birthday tomorrow. And John, Timur Hizriev, another representative from that MMA force known as Dagestan.
I'll tell you what, you can see how good he is. He's a young fighter.
Awesome.
He's a young fighter. He's got a lot to learn, but man, he is going to be something special.
All right, let's go to Amanda Guerra.
Mauro, we appreciate it. Well, today there was massive, huge breaking news in the world of MMA, a rematch that will be 4 years in the making. Bellator MMA today announcing the rematch between the champ, who is undefeated at heavyweight, Ryan Bader, versus one of the best to ever do it, the GOAT himself, Fedor. And rumor has it, this could potentially be the final fight of his career. Put it on your calendars right now, Saturday, February 4th. It will be the first Bellator fight on CBS. And we are very honored to be joined by the GOAT himself, Fedor. But Josh, I'm going to hand this over to you for the first question, fighter to fighter, and what this fight means.
This is obviously a rematch, but after talking with Scott Coker for the last couple months, this is a fight that you really wanted to get back. Why is that?
She's got a great arm. Bellator MMA apparel coming your way. You're making some noise.
Ну, во-первых, я бы хотел, конечно, прежде всего встретиться с чемпионом и провести матч-реванш с Райаном Бейдером. Не все сложилось так, как мне хотелось в прошлой подготовке. Надеюсь, в этот раз будет получше.
Of course, first of all, I wanted a title fight is really what I was after, and it just happened so that it's Ryan Bader, which is even better. It didn't go my way last time. I'm going to prepare for it, and we hope it's going to go my way this time.
Fedor, first and foremost, we are so honored to have you here on the desk. Your career spanning more than 20 years. We have read many articles today saying this will be the last fight of your career. Can you confirm your retirement after this fight?
We go to the weigh-in podcast with Bellator's very own Big John and Josh.
Да, это будет мой последний бой. Будет завершение моей карьеры.
Yes, this will be my last fight.
Well, now you have confirmed that. What does the GOAT do when he retires? What does he do?
Что ты будешь делать, когда уже уйдешь?
У меня есть команда моих ребят, чемпионов, а также давать дорогу молодым. У нас есть Союз ММА России, из которого вышли уже многие чемпионы. Вот будем развивать этот вид спорта у нас в стране.
He said, you know, I have a lot of guys under me. Some of them are champions right here in Bellator. I have a lot of younger guys that are coming up, and we're going to continue to develop MMA in Russia.
Fedor, your career at the time will then span 23 years. Thank you so much for being here with us. We can't wait to watch you on February 4th. Okay, guys, mark it on your calendar. We cannot wait to watch this one here. The rematch between Fedor and Ryan Bader on CBS. The first Bellator fight going down on CBS February 4th. Bellator 290 inside the Kia Forum in Inglewood, California. We cannot wait to do it. And Fedor confirming to us this will be the final fight of his career. Still to come here at Bellator 288, fireworks inside the cage. The lightweight world championship featuring Usman Nurmagomedov versus Patricky Pitbull. Nurmagomedov just 24 years old, undefeated in his career. 15 wins, 15-0, and 13 of those wins, all finishes, 10 of them coming in the first round. He says he doesn't see much in his opponent, but Patricky Pitbull is operating at a different level right now. The current champ tied with the most knockouts in Bellator history. And while youth may not be on his side in this one, he is 12 years older than his opponent. The motivation and fire is more intense than ever for him. Now it is about heart and a family legacy to maintain.
It is marked indelibly over the heart, proudly proclaiming for all to see how integral it is to his identity. Pitbull Brothers. Two men connected by the unbreakable bond of family and synonymous with the Bellator brand.
I love you, Bellator! I believe when the people think about Bellator, the people think about Pitbull Brothers.
We are the best fighters in Bellator. My brother is a killer. Now he's a champion. I have all the records. So we made history.
Patricky, the oldest of the brothers from Brazil.
Oh, good luck. This is it. We're done. We are done.
Has used his devastating power,
Man, what a finish.
to propel himself to the top of the promotion's record books.
When my brother goes to fight, he's like a killer. He doesn't care.
I'm the king of chaos, and now I'm the champ. Let's go!
The road to becoming a champion was not an easy one for Patricky. A combination of tough losses and serious injuries derailed his quest and had him contemplating whether it was time to give up his dream.
When the pandemic is coming, I think a lot my retirement, but my wife helped me a lot. When my brother say, I will take the opportunity for you to fight for the belt, and this was unbelievable. So I changed everything.
Patricio, the one-time two-division champion, relinquished his lightweight crown, paving the way for Patricky to fight for a world title of his own.
I don't have words to explain this. He gave me the chance to be a champion. I beat a lot of guys in Bellator. I have a lot of injury, but today I'm champion.
11 years in the Bellator cage, and he has brought the Pitbull Brothers back to the top of the mountain.
Be the champion with the same time as my brother. It's amazing. We are very happy in that moment. Our dream come true.
But standing across the cage tonight is 15-0 Usman Nurmagomedov, the extremely dangerous Dagestani fighter who is also looking to continue a family tradition of excellence.
Because his cousin is a baby and everyone is looking to him and talk shit. He's gonna smash Pitbull, you know, but we don't care about that.
Will try to just take me down and make a born fight. I will put my all energy to finish him. I will kill him.
So as Patricky looks to defend the world title for the first time, the Pitbull brothers look to maintain their dominance in the Bellator cage and continue their childhood dream.
Patricky and Patricio holding those belts at the same time. Josh, you saw just how emotional Patricky was in that. He was emotional this week when we talked to him, and I don't think we've seen necessarily that side of him. What's been changing for him over the years?
It's called age. And you start to learn to appreciate your family, your friends, and the people that have been with you throughout your whole career. And his brother has been by his side every step of the way, and the same with him with his brother. And it resonates through their family. His whole family is here. His wife, his kids, his brother's wife, their kids. Like, they all come together in a pack. Pit bulls. That's what they do. They travel in a pack. They support each other. They love each other. And they know he's realizing right now, at the age in which he's at, he still has a lot left in the tank. But he realizes also that this is his time. He's the champion. Now he needs to defend his title.
36 years old, 12 years older than his opponent, but just 36 years old, younger than both you and I. But you're right. I saw him and his family at breakfast this morning, and that's what it was about. All right, look, we have two historic families going up against one another for the very first time in the Pitbull brothers, going up against Team Nurmagomedov, Usman Nurmagomedov, fighting against Patricky Pitbull tonight, the cousin of Khabib, the brother of Umar. And look at these family ties. Look how incredible these two families are. 58-15 for the Pitbull brothers, 76-3-1 for Team Nurmagomedov, 40 finishes versus 50 there. But just the two Pitbull brothers, 17 world titles compared to Team Nurmagomedov with the 4, but of course that could change tonight. It is time for John and Josh to go toe-to-toe. Please, guys, behave, because we're supposed to do this again for the main event, so I need y'all to behave so Scott Coker doesn't scrap this event. Here's the thing, John, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to start with Patricky Pitbull here. You asked him this week, hey, are you going to grapple? Because we haven't seen you do that for a while. I know you could do it. He said, I could do that, but I think I can finish him. How does he get the finish tonight?
Look, he gets the finish by being a complete mixed martial artist. Look, we know he's got power. He's got power in both hands, and he can hurt someone with that power at any moment. We've seen him put people away with one shot, so we know it's there. But you've got to mix things up. This is mixed martial arts. You cannot just go after that knockout, because when you just search for the knockout, you never find it. It's when you just flow with the fight that you will find it. And he's got good grappling. He's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's got good wrestling. So he needs to be a full mixed martial artist, the complete fighter, and he can get that win.
I agree with John, which is very rare, but he does have to kind of press the action a little bit more, because if he allows Usman to sit on the outside, it's going to be a long night for him. He's got to get after him, John. He can't afford to be outside getting picked apart. He's got to close that distance and fight Usman in that phone booth.
Josh, let me ask you this about Usman. You said, look, I can pick either fighter to talk about, and I'm just going to show John, why he's wrong here. Usman Nurmagomedov, look, you know both of these fighters so well. You've been in the cage against Patricky. You've trained with Usman. How does Usman get the win?
I've trained with Patricky and Patricio both, and I've trained with Usman and the whole Nurmagomedov family. They are fantastic fighters, but what you're going to see is you're going to see that quick snap head kick. You're going to see the spinning back kicks, but I think also when Patricky gets into that phone booth, look for those type of takedowns. Right into the clinch, the outside leg hook, right to the takedown, and then jumping to a submission to try to get Patricky to fall back to his back to defend the takedowns. Now, all of that is perfect, but let's just remember how we all ended up here. Is that Big John last time wanted to go with the champion. I took the champion because I'm the champion. That's why he's going to have to explain himself right now on how his guy's going to win this fight.
Well, I already explained how my guy was going to win it, but you're absolutely right that he has to be very careful of where he is in this fight, because the range is a huge advantage to Usman. Usman is long, and if he stays on the outside, it's going to be tough for Patricky to get in there and touch him with that power. And you're right about the trips, the inside and outside trips that he uses so well. But Usman does start to slow down a little bit. We see Patricky in the later rounds still there. This is a great fight between two great fighters. I can't wait for it.
And I'm between two great guys right here.
Wow, it's the first...
I know, I'm being so nice today.
Positivity tonight there, John. Wow. We are two special men.
There you go.
All right, move him out, move him out. Give me my one shot back here. We are going to get ready for our co-main event tonight. Patricky Pitbull putting his lightweight belt on the line. Who comes out as champion between a Pitbull brother versus Team Nurmagomedov?
has the power to end the fight at any point.
And it's all over, just like that. Patricky Pitbull.
He's locking up a foot choke on him.
And there in scintillating fashion.
He is a supreme striker. He's got unbelievable wrestling, and his ground and pound is nasty good.
Set now to make his way to the cage, the challenger, Usman Nurmagomedov.
Just 24 years of age, 15-0, 13 wins inside the distance. And Nurmagomedov looking to become the second Nurmagomedov to become an undefeated champion. His older cousin Habib, his legend set in stone, retired undefeated champion. But John, you look at Usman Nurmagomedov, and yeah, Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet asked, what's in a name? Patricky Pitbull thinks the answer is a Bellator title shot if your name is Nurmagomedov. But we have seen in his 4 fights in Bellator so many different wrinkles, so many talents. I'm still blown away by what he was able to do with Mike Hamill in his debut. Landed 38 leg kicks of all kinds, including a question mark kick. And there's no question odds makers feel he is the man to dethrone Patricky Pitbull tonight.
Yeah, odd makers have him as the favorite this fight by quite a bit. It's really amazing. Look, his keys to victory for this fight are distance and range control. If he can keep that distance and utilize that range control, he's going to make it very tough on Pitbull. Attempt takedowns, not so much that you have to get him, but just make him respect the fact that he has to think about it and deal with it. That's going to help your hands.
Now the reigning Bellator lightweight world champion, Patricky Pitbull.
It was a long and winding road for Patricky Pitbull to get to the top of the lightweight summit in the Bellator MMA promotion. A man who has been involved in Bellator since March of 2011 when he TKO'd former WEC champion Razor Rob McCullough, now failing at one time against Michael Chandler to become a champion, given the opportunity because his brother, who was a simultaneous 2-division champion, vacated the lightweight crown in order to give Patricky the chance to vie for it. Patricky went to Dublin, avenged a doctor stoppage loss to Peter Quilley, becoming the first man to stop Quilley in Dublin. And so here he is, lightweight champion. He's 36 years of age. He's documented all of the injuries, all of the wear and tear, the fact that he was thinking about retirement, but now a new lease on life as champion.
New lease on life? Yes, I believe so. But again, anytime someone starts to think about that retirement, well, you got to start to say, oh, are you 100% in? I believe him when he says he is, but you've got to say this is going to be one of his toughest matchups to date. He's got to crush the space in the stand-up. Get inside. That's going to take away the kicks of Nurmagomedov, and that's a big part of this. Take him down and make him pay on the ground. Everyone worries about the Nurmagomedov name on the ground. Usman and Habib fight a different style of fight. Usman wants to be in the stand-up for the most part. Put him on the ground and make him pay.
We talk about the circuitous route. Frede won the title for the first time in his 23rd fight here in Bellator. That's the most fights in company company history before winning a championship, the 6th Bellator lightweight champion, following in the footsteps of 3-time champ Michael Chandler, 2-time champ Eddie Alvarez, Will Brooks, Brent Primus, and of course, his younger brother, Patricio. The lightweight championship hangs in the balance. Let's take a closer look at the numbers for this lightweight title fight.
You can take a look at the numbers in the age, 36 compared to 24. The records are there. It's that 5'11". Usman is a very tall fighter, and he fights tall, and that can become a problem for Patricky if he can't get inside.
With the championship introductions, here once again, Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA live on Showtime here at Wintrust Arena. We're set now for tonight's double main event, leading off with 5 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Lightweight World Championship. Tonight's world title fight sanctioned by the Illinois State Athletic Commission, Director Nancy Ilg. And now first, introducing the blue corner. At 5'11", weighing in 154.8 pounds, in his first world title challenge, the #1 ranked contender brings 15 professional victories, no losses. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the undefeated challenger, Usman Nurmagomedov. And across the cage, the champion fights out of the red corner at 5'7", weighing in 154 pounds even. In the first defense of his world title, he enters with 24 professional victories, 10 defeats. From Natal, Rio Grande do Norte, Brazil, the defending Bellator lightweight world champion, Patricky Pitbull. The referee in charge, Kevin McDonald.
Fighters to the center. All right, gentlemen, this is 5 rounds for the Bellator lightweight title. We went over the rules in the back. I want a good, clean fight. If you'd like, touch gloves now, and the best of luck to you. Turn to your corners.
The maiden voyage for Patricky Pitbull as lightweight champion. It's all about the belt, and for Pitbull, looking to knock off Nurmagomedov, hand him his first defeat. This is the first time that Nurmagomedov is competing in a 5-round fight. Round number 1. And we are underway from the Wintrust Arena in Chicago, Illinois. And already, Nurmagomedov, who has a crafty cavalcade of kicks in his arsenal, goes that route to initiate contact.
Yeah, one of the things with the Pitbull brothers, they like to take the center of the cage and then let their opponent come to them and throw counters on them. If you are Patricky in this fight, you cannot just stand in the center. You've got to actually push forward and crush that space, or else you're going to be facing all of these different kicks that will be coming your way.
Yeah, Patricky Pitbull wants to make his presence known in the pocket, but he has to navigate a minefield of strikes from Nurmagomedov, who is able to transition and just be fluid and dynamic, and again already showing how many different kicks in the first minute.
That's exactly right. It's just gonna continue to build. We've seen when Usman gets confident in a fight, it is not a good thing for their opponent. Things just start going downhill fast for him.
Nurmagomedov going back and forth to orthodox, now southpaw, looking for that side kick, and the crowd here in Chicago chanting. There is Patricio Pitbull, the reigning featherweight champion, who, well, avenged his brother's loss to Michael Chandler, becoming lightweight champion, and then vacating the title in order to give his older brother an opportunity to live his dream as the Bellator king of the lightweight division. And of course, a knockout victory tonight would break the tie with Michael Venom Page and make him the KO king in Bellator MMA with 11. But that's easier said than done against the guy who's yet to taste defeat, and already the kicks beginning to deliver dividends.
That was a nice check by Usman on that kick by Patricky. We'll see how much he continues to throw his kick now based upon that check.
Inside kick, and there's an oblique kick, and again, he's able to, with one sequence with the same foot, do 2 or 3 different kicks.
And you got to figure right now, he's probably kicked somewhere between 10 to 15 times, maybe 20.
I can tell you right now, he is 12 of 420 according to our stats, so well done, Mr. McCarthy. Meanwhile, Pitbull 2 for 2, but it is a kicking clinic early on for Usman Nurmagomedov, the challenger.
And those kicks tell you one thing. We talked about the range and distance.
Yes.
That means that he has established, he's been able to maintain that range and distance, and that is not a good marker for Patricky in winning this fight. You have got to crush that distance. You're going to have to go inside, step inside, and throw your hands.
Speaking of steps, John, what about the footwork of Nurmagomedov? So fluid, so incredibly physical.
And this is the whole part. See, everyone looks at the way Khabib used to fight, and look, he was fantastic. But they are different fighters. One loves the stand-up, one loves the ground. And you can see how much time and effort Usman has put into his stand-up game, because when he wants to flow, he just moves very well. Always balanced.
Started Muay Thai when he's 7, freestyle wrestling at 8, MMA at 11. So again, the generation that is born into MMA, and there's that striking from the champion, Patricky Pitbull. Unleashed a 2-punch combination, but continues to be tagged on the lead leg, and there's a head kick with the left leg of Nurmagomedov.
That was a nice step-in attack by Patricky, but he's got to maintain. Once he steps inside, don't let that separation occur. Keep pressing forward and use your hands to do damage.
Final minute of the first. Nurmagomedov fighting at range, resets. Patricky Pitbull, cognizant of the fact that this youngster can attack at different angles and different ways, and
you got to figure Usman spent over 3 months in Abu Dhabi training with Islam Makhachev, both of them having championship fights. And so everything that he did there and all of the wrestling defense work he did against Islam is only going to pay off for him here against Patricky if Patricky works for those takedowns.
Makhachev, new UFC champion, and you look at AKA, which has been a pipeline of champions, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Cain Velasquez, Daniel Cormier, Luke Rockhold, and of all of those fighters, Javier Mendez, the trainer, thinks Usman Nurmagomedov may be the best.
Says a lot.
Keep staying on the outside like you're doing. When you see a good takedown, take it, okay? But don't be rushing to get on the inside, okay? You're doing fine.
Você já percebeu, o Arthur é melhor que ele. Arthur é melhor que ele.
Ele tá assim, ó.
Não coloca mais a mão no chão. Não bota mais dentro. Você tá bem, só faz ele errar. Confia na sua mão.
Distance. Just keep in front, kids and stuff. That's okay.
Speaking of Javier Mendez, giving Nurmagomedov instructions in between rounds while Patricio Pitbull was helping his brother. There is Javier Mendez, longtime trainer, kickboxing great in his own right at AKA.
And that's his brother Usman.
Who's
I'm sorry,
Umar.
That's Umar, yeah. Usman's brother behind him.
Yeah, bantamweight in the UFC. They're everywhere, John.
Yeah, tell me about it.
They are taking over the sport, and it's incredible to witness, and just how incredibly popular the Dagestani contingent is. Getting a very good reception here in Chicago, and Nurmagomedov now with that stance. There's a kick to the midsection of Patricky Pitbull, and Pitbull still kind of just taxiing on the runway. Has had that one moment in the first round, stepped in, delivered the 1-2, but very hard to try to close the distance and try to get on track here as he goes for an oblique kick.
There he is. That's a nice explosion from him. But again, you've got to use your feet to get inside. You can't lunge over.
of course, with all of the kicks coming from different angles and different distances, Patricky would try to maybe time it with the counter or maybe catch it. He goes inside with a low kick. Let's face it, Patricky Pitbull, also a BJJ black belt. We talked about it, John. What would be the chance of a guy who, known for his power, wants to knock out Nurmagomedov, but would it be wise for him to try to take it to the ground against a guy who's also been very, very proficient in grappling?
Look, if you're an MMA fighter, it's much easier to fight someone that's not going to try to take you down anytime, because then all you're doing is fighting the stand-up. If you at least try to take him down and make him think about it, then he has to at least deal with that instead of just dealing with the strikes. There's more for him to think about. It slows down his offense. It's a good thing. I just don't, oh, that was a clean.
Beautiful, setting up the takedown as he baited him with that left hand. An incredible transition, and Nurmagomedov has the takedown on Pitbull.
And that was a beautiful counter hand that you watch Usman land on Patricky. That snapped his head back. Watch that left hand, man. That left hand just blasted.
Using the left hand to set up the takedown. And as we near the midway point of the second, we'll see how the champion is able to work from his back, controlling the posture of the challenger. Hammer fist, short hammer fist, and an elbow from Nurmagomedov. So trying to do damage to the champion, not just laying and praying here. Of course, dynamic Dagestani fighter.
A lot of shoulder pressure. This is something you're working out with someone like Makhachev. That's a guy that can create an unbelievable amount of pressure. You learn when you're working with someone like that how to create your own pressure. Usman on top is not good. I said from the beginning, whichever fighter ends up in the top position, it's not good for their opponent. And right now, Pitbull needs to work his way out.
Elbow from Nurmagomedov, and Pitbull trying to do just that, trying to perhaps use the fence, but he's now back in a supine position courtesy of Nurmagomedov.
See, every one of these elbows you see Usman landing, that just, it's like punching a hole in the gas tank. It damages you. It just starts to make you slower, and that's something that Pitbull cannot give up in this fight.
Oh, commentary between the two fighters. Body head with the right hand of Nurmagomedov.
If Usman is talking, he got that habit from his cousin Habib, who used to talk to every one of his opponents. I did enough of his fights, and he would sit there telling them, "You need to quit. I'm going to smash you. Just stop."
He's trying to smash Patricky Pitbull here, and Pitbull, meanwhile, desperately trying to get out from underneath, but Usman Nurmagomedov continuing to feed the elbows, and the right hand's under the armpit now of the champion.
You can see that beautiful lacing of the arm that he's got on that left arm.
Nurmagomedov looking to get the hooks in.
What a beautiful transition. Look how he sliced that knee inside. He's looking for the choke.
He's got 5 submission victories, including 2 rear naked chokes. Pitbull has lost via submission once against Lloyd Woodard back at Bellator 62 10 years ago. And it looks like Patricky Pitbull may be able to survive round 2, but it's all Usman Nurmagomedov. Will he survive? Elbows from up top, and what a dominant round for the challenger, John.
Absolutely, that was a big round for Usman Nurmagomedov, and that last sequence was brutal.
Pops his head back, John, and
that was that left hand that popped his head straight back, but a beautiful transition from the striking, dropping down, changing levels into him, takes him down, and then take a look at this. Mounted position, just lighting him up with big elbow strikes.
Isso, parado. Outra coisa, só para quando ele chutar, Patrick, é o momento de você bloquear e pegar. Tá tomando chute, tá indo pra trás. Bloqueia e avança pro cruzado direto. Ele tá com medo da sua mão, pô. Tá entendendo? Outra coisa, tem que sai.
Nurmagomedov with designs of becoming the first Bellator champion from Dagestan. A lot of supporters here at Wintrust Arena in Chicago, Illinois. Playing host to its first Bellator MMA event, the first of our 2 championship fights tonight.
Gentlemen, round 3.
That round right there just gave Usman a ton of confidence.
Oh, a ton of respect there by Nurmagomedov as they start round 3. He starts from southpaw again, eyeing with the jab, oblique kick, and there, that Patricky Pitbull trying to initiate the explosive attack, John. And again, defending the takedown attempt there as strike totals all Nurmagomedov.
82 of 113, 7 of 17.
73%.
Unbelievable.
Body kick by Nurmagomedov. Right kick to the face by Nurmagomedov.
Right now, Nurmagomedov is just breaking Pitbull down, just slowly diminishing him with every shot that he's landing. Pitbull can't figure out the way to break that distance.
Any suggestions?
Look, it's a whole lot easier to say than it is to do, but he's got to take chances now. He's got to say, hey, I've got to step inside, and when he steps inside, move your feet inside, bring your head off that center line, and start throwing shots straight down the pipe. Uppercuts are good.
Nurmagomedov circling to his left, and of course that right hand of Patricky Pitbull, his money shot. There's Nurmagomedov again, just keeping his lead hand from southpaw, John, just out there, keeping Pitbull thinking, keeping him at bay. And there's the side kick to the breadbasket by Nurmagomedov.
And he's showing you the respect that he has for that right hand power of Pitbull. Look at where his left hand is. It's right up, right covering his chin the entire time. Exactly.
Now the fight IQ of this 24-year-old, and again, it goes all the way back to the patriarch, the late Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, the father of Habib Nurmagomedov, and what he was able to accomplish with the youngsters and the family and the surrounding area. And Usman Nurmagomedov, as we mentioned, looking to become an undefeated champion, and there is Javier Mendez and other members of the camp.
That's Abu Bakr there. You see it up front. These guys train together. They live together. They do everything together, and everything is just about helping each other. You got to give, and they're going to give back, and you can see the results, and that's what they've learned from Abdulmanap.
Habib, Usman, Umar, and Abu Bakr, 76-3-1 as mixed martial artists. I mean, incredible record.
And honestly, if you talk about that record, it's Abu Bakr that has the 3 losses and the 1 draw. All the rest of them undefeated.
Minute and a half left in the third. Nurmagomedov content to be at this distance and switching stances, and again looking to land the kick upstairs. But Patricky Pitbull trying to move forward, but forced on his back foot. Now he switches stances.
We talked at the beginning of this fight, the whole element of the range and how he's got to crush that, and he has not figured out a way to do it as of this third round.
Nurmagomedov just landed the jab with the right hand and misses with the 1-2.
Nice hard kick to the body by Pitbull. He needs to do more of that.
And there, Nurmagomedov again, he's the one crashing into the range. And he is just landed his 100th strike of the fight. He's thrown 147. Meanwhile, for the champion, 12 of 31 thus far. Paltry output thanks to the pressure and the kicking attack of Nurmagomedov. So we are headed to the championship rounds, and again, the first time that the challenger's in a 5-round fight.
What's up? Clean break.
Well, we know what the fans think, John. What do you make of what you're witnessing right now in terms of the approach from the champion, Patricky Pitbull?
The approach of Pitbull is he's confused. Let's just be honest. He's having a hard time breaking that distance down. And if you're looking at Usman, it is not a fighter's job to get hit. It's to not be hit and hit your opponent. And he's doing a beautiful job of that.
Make him pay, baby. You got it. Here we go.
Beautiful jab, straight off. Got into him, but wasn't able to get the takedown. But
man, how cool is it? Again, you want to see the growth. How many times you see naked shots, telegraph shots? He uses his striking to change levels and get right into the grappling.
Right.
And as we begin round 4, Usman Nurmagomedov is... It's like he looked like in round 1. He is maintaining, again, the pace hasn't been incredibly high by any means, but it's been Usman Nurmagomedov, and we appreciate the respect, but the fans would like to see them get it on here, John.
Why can't you like your opponent?
Wow.
Take a look at the total strikes here. 102 of 152 at 67%.
Oh, there is the using his speed, but there Pitbull able to escape the takedown attempt because it was a naked shot.
That's right. And that is the difference. When you shoot that naked shot comparatively without utilizing your hands to set it up, it is a much more difficult thing to do against a guy that knows how to wrestle. So Usman has shown he's had a very good attack with his hands, has set those takedowns up well, and in the second round when he got it, you saw how well he did on the ground.
And we just saw a nice inside calf kick by the challenger, again wearing down the lead leg of the champion, Patricky Pitbull. And Pitbull fires off an inside kick that Nurmagomedov absorbed. Side kick. Nurmagomedov racking up the points. Oh, and beautiful combination, yes, by the challenger on the face of the champion, Patricky Pitbull, and his face is busted up.
Pitbull doesn't like having his back against the fence, so you know when you see him getting close to that fence, he's not comfortable with what's happening in the fight.
Double jab from Nurmagomedov, and then Pitbull coming forward, but unable to score anything of note. And again, that continued movement by Nurmagomedov, moving in and out of range. And continues to just wear him down with kicks.
And I'm telling you, I'm very impressed with Patricky and what the kind of condition that he's in, because all those shots with the kicks that Usman has landed to the body, that front kick, the side kick, all of it.
I mean, the numbers are astronomical for Nurmagomedov in terms of his domination. And there's a body kick by the champion. 2 minutes left in the penultimate round, and champ resets, hands down, backing up. Nurmagomedov flicks the front kick to the midsection, and Patricky Pitbull just
But you notice how he was leaning more. You saw how he was leaning forward as he was coming forward because his feet were planted. He's trying to land with power. He's got to slide his feet in to those situations so he can come with more than just that 1-2. He can get to the 3-4.
It's almost as if the champion may even be in a way trying to bait Nurmagomedov, you know, putting it down because you wonder who's going to lead the dance.
Right.
We know that Pitbull's an effective counter striker as well, especially as you mentioned with that right hand.
Yeah, he has been throughout his career, but in this fight, Usman has him where he is unsure exactly what's coming, where it's coming,
but there,
and when he should throw.
Yeah, a moment for Pitbull to again throw a combination, but Nurmagomedov darting in and out. Just 50 seconds left in the fourth. And there again, the kick connects to the face. The feints being employed by Nurmagomedov.
Pitbull has got to commit. He's got to sit down and say, hey, look, I'm behind in this fight. I need to start making some big movements towards Usman to land with the power that I have. Because he does. He's got power in each hand. Doesn't matter if it's the right or left. If it lands, it can hurt Usman or put him out.
A luta é tua, cara. Ele tá respeitando você. O que vai ser você fazer o que você treinou, cara. Não fica tudo parado. Solta o seu braço. O rei de uma coisa quer você. Você tem que andar pra frente, Patrick, na hora do golpe. Entendeu? Outra coisa, não quero tomar chute e ir pra trás. Eu tomo chute e tá de cruzar direto. É isso, presta atenção. É isso que ele tá falando. Você ganhou. Você vai ganhar a luta. Levanta a cabeça.
Sense of urgency, as you would expect, in the champion's corner. Eric Albarracin, who's held Patricky Pitbull and his brother in the wrestling department. Patricio on the outside, yelling words of encouragement to his brother. They know this round is everything to his title reign. And for Usman Nurmagomedov, in the first fifth round of his blossoming career, he could potentially be 5 minutes or less away from becoming the new Bellator lightweight champion.
Gentlemen, fifth and final round for Cheeky. Let's go.
5 minutes left in this fight. John, I just got asked, part of the traffic, unofficial scorecard, and why?
Unofficial scorecard, I have Nurmagomedov winning every round so far.
And Nurmagomedov now, Patricky Pitbull, knowing that it's now or never, beginning to put pressure on Nurmagomedov.
That's what he needs to do. It's going to be an L. If you don't go after him and you don't hurt him and you don't get rid of him in this round, it's going to be an L no matter what. So,
and finally, aggression.
Let it hang out.
The champion is Nurmagomedov. Win for the takedown. Continues to deliver oblique kicks to the lead leg of the champion, but Patricky Pitbull definitely trying to ratchet up the offense. In the meantime, double jab, and it ends up with Patricky Pitbull on his back again, courtesy of Nurmagomedov.
That was a beautiful takedown, beautifully set up by Nurmagomedov. Pitbull was looking for him to strike, dropped levels on him, took him straight down.
And the challenger has dominated in every facet of the fight.
So far, he has been the dominant fighter.
Closed guard where really Patricky Pitbull has to try to find a way to get Nurmagomedov off of him, and it's going to be tough sledding for the lightweight champion as Usman Nurmagomedov, whose blood now, even more blood on the face of the champ,
Right now, all you're seeing from Patricky is he's holding tight, trying to keep that position where no posture so I don't get hit with big shots.
Holding him tight's not going to help him hold on to the gold.
No, no. The more that he holds him tight, the further away that belt is marching over to Usman's corner.
Bellator lightweight champion, a bloody mess. Struggling on his back as Usman Nurmagomedov keeping it close, tightly to his chest, now looking to pass guard.
Nice hip movement by Usman, but a very good job of keeping that guard by Patricky. But again, right now, at this point in the fight, keeping the guard can keep him from being hurt and damaged anymore. But it's definitely not going to help him in winning this fight.
2 minutes away from a changing of the guard in the Bellator lightweight division. Usman Nurmagomedov in top position, working from the closed guard of the champion throughout this fight. It's been all Usman Nurmagomedov. He's thrown 225 strikes. Oh, and now there's a mat returning right under full mount, John.
Minute 35 left. We saw what happened last time with the elbows.
And Usman Nurmagomedov in prime position to try to close the show and make history as the first Bellator champion from Dagestan.
Usman putting a lot of pressure, that shoulder pressure. You're seeing how it's forcing Pitbull's head to the side.
Final minute, and Pitbull, beautiful sweep, and Pitbull now has to let it all hang out. Less than a minute left, potentially in his title reign.
But you saw right away when he got turned, what did Usman do? Feet right on the hips, pushed him off, right up to his feet.
Man, desperate times call for desperate measures. I know it's a cliche, John, but here it is, 25 seconds left. Patricio Pitbull has to look. If he is looking to be the king of knockouts, he's got to try, because Usman Nurmagomedov is well on his way.
He's got to launch a Hail Mary.
Of 24 years old, of moving to 16-0. Becoming the champion, and Pitbull explodes, but time runs out. Has time run out on the Patricky Pitbull lightweight title reign? I know I wear glasses, John, but how can it be any other way than the crowning of a new champion here tonight in Chicago?
No, there's no way that it'll be anything more. Usman Nurmagomedov just took the Bellator lightweight title from Patricky Pitbull with a beautiful performance.
Composure, maturity, effective game plan, and conversely, Patricky Pitbull banged up, busted up. It was all Usman Nurmagomedov.
Let's take a look at some of these highlights from the beginning. That push kick, all of the variety of kicks, and then the use of the hands to get Pitbull covering up, dropping levels. When he got to the top position, he landed big, heavy shots that did damage. The wrestling was a huge difference for Usman Nurmagomedov. He was able to take Pitbull down multiple times in the fight, and when he did, opening up a big cut with that elbow right there, gets the back, takes it back down with a mat return, gets the back off of that, right to mount, landed some big shots from here. It's a heck of a win for Usman Nurmagomedov.
After 25 minutes inside the Bellator cage, we await the official decision. It's all but certain that we will be crowning a new Bellator lightweight champion. Let's find out. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance in tonight's first world title fight, we go now to your judges at cage side. Your first, Scott Jones, scores the fight 50-45, while judges Sal D'Amato and Michael Bell both see it the same at 50-44. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision. And now the new Bellator lightweight world champion, Usman Nurmagomedov.
History has indeed been made. Usman Nurmagomedov, at the age of 24, becomes another undefeated MMA champion with the surname Nurmagomedov, following in the footsteps of his legendary older cousin Habib. And Usman Nurmagomedov, now the 7th person to hold Bellator lightweight gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with the new Bellator lightweight champion, Usman Nurmagomedov. That was a dominant performance. You put on a beautiful striking exhibition, beautiful takedowns, beautiful ground control. How does it feel to be the 2nd lightweight champion taking a belt back to Dagestan this year?
Oh, thank you so much for everybody, thank you. You know, honestly, I don't believe this, brother, really. I have only 24 years, and look at this guy. This guy and his father make me, you know. These guys, look at him. Salam alaikum. Oh, salam alaikum. Poyas damo yedi.
Well, that's Habib Nurmagomedov there. That is your cousin. He seems a little happy. How does it feel for you to make him so happy with what you've done?
Brother, for me, this is so important to know that this is like, I don't give you like what I feel now. I don't say like, I feel it great, you know, like now I believe I can everything. Like, you know, like what human can, like I know. You know, a lot of things I want to say, like I have a little barrier for my language, and I will improve this. And now I'm so happy. A lot of emotion, you know. I don't know. I just want to say thank you. Like, first of all, alhamdulillah, after I know a lot of guys, everybody from around the world send me message, so support me. And thank you guys, thank you. And thank you, my manager, Ali, my brother. This is not only manager. Scott Coker, thank you so much for choice, for chance. And coach, you know everything, coach. I love you so much. You, Habib, you guys make me. Thank you for my team. Thank you for my family. Всем спасибо, кто за меня болеет. Честно сказать, очень сильно рад. Не хотел подводить. Сегодня здесь пришли очень много братьев. Папах тоже видно в зале. Всем спасибо. Всем. И особенно Тада, ассаламу алейкум. I'm done.
We say
thank you.
Thank you for everyone who support, and he said thank you for my family. He says salam alaikum, my father.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the new champion, Usman Nurmagomedov.
Soaring like an eagle, the Nurmagomedov named Usman is now the man in the Bellator lightweight division, putting the title over the shoulder of his coach, Javier Mendez, who again said when he first saw Usman Nurmagomedov, this guy could be the best fighter I ever trained. We talk about the all-star champions that he has trained, and well, where there's a winner, there's also unfortunately a loser. But for Patricky Pitbull, he knows what matters most, and he is now surrounded by those who love him most, his family. His title reign one and done, but it's Usman Nurmagomedov, undefeated, and now Bellator lightweight champion. Amanda, back to you.
Moro, absolutely incredible. Look, he was pretty quiet when we talked to him this week. Absolutely elated. Usman Nurmagomedov and new lightweight champion. Josh, you went cage side for this one. You called it. Between John and Josh, you called this one. We'll talk to John about that later. How did he get the win so easily?
It was the distance, the speed, the distance, the timing, all of those things. Patricky had to lunge in and close that distance a little bit faster, and he wasn't able to do that. And then he found himself being picked apart with the long kicks, the long jab, the switching of the stance, all of those things. And that threat of the takedown makes you hesitate for 1 second, which opens up the takedown for him or the striking for Usman. Welcome to being champion row, buddy.
Not even a lot of damage to him, even though it went the distance in that. That is our co-main event. Still tonight, we have our main event, a rematch of the Bellator light heavyweight World Grand Prix. But first, the year close to an end. We are far from done. Coming up, Bellator's December schedule spreads holiday cheer now and through the new year. Friday, December 9th, the Bellator Bantamweight World Grand Prix continues with both semifinal bouts. Patchy Mix meets Magomedov, and the interim champ Rafion Stotts meets Danny Sabatello. Just 3 short weeks before these trash talkers go toe-to-toe and look to land a spot in the $1 million finals. Plus, after a controversial win in April that awarded Liz Carmouche the flyweight belt, former champ Juliana Velasquez gets a chance to take it back. The rematch, December 9th. And ring in the new year with an all-star showdown Saturday, December 31st, a historic co-promotion headlined by Bellator star AJ McKee and rising lightweight champ Roberto de Souza, and in the co-main, featherweight champ Patricio Pitbull taking on rising featherweight champ Kleber Kuike. It's Bellator versus Rising. Next year at Bellator 288, our main event, and the winner of this one will get $1 million. We have the conclusion of the Bellator Light Heavyweight World Grand Prix, a rematch after we saw the first fight back in April, and that was declared no contest between Corey Anderson and the current champ, Vadim Nemkov. Vadim Nemkov getting a second chance because Corey Anderson was winning that fight until there was an accidental headbutt. Again, that one ruled no contest. Each of these fighters having more than 200 days to prepare for this rematch. Let's welcome back in Big John McCarthy from cage side to go toe-to-toe with our Josh Thompson here. John, I want to start with you, and I want to start with Vadim Nemkov. Look, he told us a lot of things about that first fight. He said he wasn't mentally ready. He lives very close to Ukraine. The war was weighing very heavily on his mind. He said he wasn't ready for Corey Anderson's wrestling. So for that, he moved to the States to train with American wrestlers. How does he get his fist raised tonight and keep that belt?
You know, how he gets his hand raised is he goes back to what he's good with, and what he is good with is utilizing kicks to take away the front leg of Corey Anderson. Look, Vadim Nemkov is very fast. He's strong, but anybody is going to get tired when they're going against someone like Corey and using strength. You've got to use technique. So he's got to go back to the kicks, use that length, and whenever Corey goes for those takedowns, he's got to stop the takedown, and he's got to make him pay for attempting it.
John, I'm surprised you're back for more. Come get somebody. I'm going to have the producer cut off your mic because it's a 10-8 round. You're getting bloodied up. It's time to call it and wrap it up. Look, honestly, Corey Anderson is phenomenal. Nemkov's phenomenal. It's the leg kicks, like you said, that's going to be the key. But he's got to make sure he hides it behind his combinations, because if he doesn't do that, those takedowns will come easy.
Josh, let me ask you this. Let's go to Corey Anderson here. Look, he was very close to winning that fight. Does he just pick up where he left off, or is this a totally new fight for him as well?
No, he needs to pick up right where he left off, whereas Nemkov needs to make it a new fight. Corey just needs to pick up, and he needs to continue what he was doing, but he's also got to make sure that he doesn't come in overconfident, cocky, arrogant, all of those things. He's got to remember what was giving him success in that first fight, but he's also got to put it behind him and realize this is a new Nemkov. There's a little bit of footage and enough for him to realize these are the mistakes that Nemkov made, and he's going to try to fix those. And so how does he get that done, John? I think he gets it done by more feints, longer jabs, pressuring him, and making Nemkov fight uncomfortably.
Absolutely. The counter-striking of Corey Anderson is key to him getting a win here tonight and becoming the new champion. Can he do that? He proved that he could do it in the first fight. We'll see if he can do it in this one.
Another 10-8 round by Thompson.
You haven't won anything ever.
No, you haven't, Joshua. Not yet. We'll see. We'll give round 1 to you for earlier. We'll see what happens here in round 2, but ultimately I have the last word. All right, guys, it is time to get you ready for our main event tonight. Corey Anderson looking to finish the job he started back in April, told reporters this week, Vadim Nemkov is like a hot pocket. He comes out hot, but just give him some time to cool down, because when he does, that's when I will make my move. Let's get you ready for this one.
Перед боем я стараюсь думать только о победе и stay smart, hands up, dominate. Nemkov started off with kicks heavy. Во время боя, что надо работать жестко, надо работать быстро, и надо забирать победу любой ценой. Nemkov's game plan: stay at distance, do not let Corey get a hold of you.
There's a kick by Nemkov that takes Anderson off his feet.
Он будет хотеть бороть меня, контролировать.
There's a solid 1-2 by Anderson.
I don't train to win. I train to dominate.
Nice job by Corey Anderson to bring him to the ground.
Different takedowns to get to the solidified position, the ground and pound.
And now Anderson on the champ.
That's what makes Corey Anderson who he is. Look at the tenacious style.
I started to put the pressure on.
Nasty elbow drop by Anderson.
Он ударил в голову мне, я увернулся, и он потерял равновесие и ударил головой в меня.
And Nemkov has been hurt.
My mother always taught me to do the right thing even when someone isn't watching. And when it happened, I heard Frank Triggs say, "Keep going. Let's go, let's go." As soon as I hit him, he said, "Headbutt." And I was trying to go back to work. And then as I looked down, I saw how bad it was, and Frank was already stepping in.
Stop, stop, time, time.
Когда я услышал этот удар, я сразу понял, что это рассечение очень большое, потому что начала кровь заливать мне глаз. Были мысли, что бой остановят.
There is some conversation here, obviously.
Look and see that blow was caused by a clash of heads. Even Corey Anderson is saying.
No contest? No contest. He retains the belt. The tournament is not done. The tournament has to be played, yeah. That's how it works.
I was that close to fulfilling the goal. It's like you was right there, and then it's just gone. Такие бои должны заканчиваться по правилам, а не такими глупыми ситуациями. Now staring at him, let me know. Tell me. I won. Look me in my eyes, right here. And he couldn't. That's why he couldn't lock eyes with him. He knew. Tell me. I'm better than you. It's okay. Like, I understand it was an accident, but just let me know. I didn't just beat him. I broke him. Сейчас будет бой совсем другой, и я готов по-другому. Мне очень понравилось тренироваться в American Top Team, что здесь очень крутая атмосфера. Мне здесь очень понравилось. Конан Сильвейро очень хорошо помогает мне. В первом бою я не показал свою стопроцентную форму. Я дал шанс Кори, но он его не использовал. Сейчас у Кори такого шанса не будет. You don't let it get to you. It's like, I'm not a champion. The job ain't finished. Just keep doing what I'm doing. Just keep training the same mentality. Like, I'm still hungry. Just do everything I did that much better. Don't fix it if it ain't broke. They got a full 3 rounds. They can go back and decipher. Stick to what I do, but find different ways to do it. Domination. That's all I got in my mind. Большую составляющую, конечно, играют деньги. Для меня главная победа в таком очень важном противостоянии для меня и для моей карьеры. The crowd's gonna see the fire lit inside Corey Anderson. I came in the game saying I was the best. Now it's my opportunity to go out there and seal the deal.
Set now to make his way to the cage, the challenger, Corey Overtime Anderson.
The native of Rockford, Illinois, feeling the love from Chicago family coaches, old teammates, so many turning out to see Corey Anderson. Will he be the last man standing at the end of this light heavyweight World Grand Prix? Was well on his way to achieving victory after a strong start by the champion Nemkov in their first fight, John. And he said Corey Anderson, who has notable wins over former UFC light heavyweight champions Glover Teixeira and Jan Blachowicz, and a win over former Bellator light heavyweight champ and current Bellator heavyweight champion Ryan Bader. Corey Anderson has said, period, full stop, I'm the best wrestler in the light heavyweight division across the sport.
I'll tell you what, it's a bold statement when he says it, but you can't say that he's not. He has got such a pressure, and his consistent pressure in the stand-up needs to take place in this fight. When you get the opportunity, use your hands to get inside, take him down, and when you do, just like you always say, ground and pound, baby.
And now, the reigning Bellator Light Heavyweight World Champion, Vadim Nemkov.
Vadim Nemkov's 8-fight Bellator unbeaten streak at 205, longest active streak in the division. The second longest streak belongs to his opponent here tonight as they run it back in the light heavyweight Grand Prix final. And for Vadim Nemkov, of course, who's always looked up to Fedor Emelianenko, who was a mentor and his trainer. Hey, Fedor faced similar circumstances during his legendary run in Japan when he dethroned Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira. They met again in the final of the heavyweight Grand Prix. Guess what? Clash of heads, a cut on Fedor, declared a no contest. Fedor would go on to retain the title New Year's Eve of that year at Saitama Super Arena with unanimous decision. So again, similarities there, but for Vadim Nemkov, what does he have to do to ensure he leaves Chicago champion?
What I think that Vadim really needs to do is take a look at this. This is a different fight, but I need to make sure that I make Corey understand I will not stop taking your legs apart. Footwork and lateral movement are key, and make him pay for every takedown attempt by doing damage. That's your key to victory.
The jab, the kicks, the grappling. It is the light heavyweight champion, Vadim Nemkov, the #1 contender, Corey Anderson. $1 million and the championship up for grabs as we replay the Grand Prix final.
And the one thing I point out here, 203.8 and 204.2. These guys came in way underweight, which is telling you they worked their butts off to get prepared for this fight.
With the official introductions for tonight's main event, here is Michael C. Williams.
Live on Showtime tonight from Chicago, the time has come once again for the $1 million light heavyweight World Grand Prix final. Concluding tonight's double main event, we go 5 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Light Heavyweight World Championship. Introducing first, the blue corner. That's 6'3", weighing in 204.2 pounds. After a dominant run through the Grand Prix early rounds, the #1 ranked contender, now with 16 professional victories, 5 losses. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the Illinois native, the challenger, Corey Anderson. And across the cage, the champion tonight fights out of the red corner. That's 6 foot, weighing in 203.8 pounds. Tonight, he again attempts his 3rd world title defense, entering with 15 professional victories, only 2 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the defending Bellator Light Heavyweight World Champion, Vadim Nemkov. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
Okay, fighters, gone over the rules in the back. This is for the light heavyweight championship. If you want to touch gloves, go ahead and do it now. Come out ready to fight.
Bellator Grand Prix belt and the Bellator Light Heavyweight Championship both up for grabs. And don't forget that $1 million bonus check. The rematch.
Ready.
Anderson,
ready.
Nemkov starts now. In their first meeting back in April, Nemkov and even Corey Anderson expected it, John. Just like that, Nemkov utilizing kicks, able to establish the jab, the footwork, and had a good opening round in their first meeting.
He did. But I think during one of those kicks in that first meeting, he got checked.
Yes.
And I think it hurt his foot. And I think he went away from those kicks.
Good point.
And it made a big difference in the fight. Corey Anderson took over from that point. He cannot have that happen in this match.
There's a double jab that lands for Nemkov. And again lands the jab on Anderson. Of course, Corey Anderson working his striking. Oh, 1-2 from the champion with Mark Henry, who was, of course, big factor. And boy, much faster start to the rematch, John, for Corey Anderson especially.
Corey is starting really faster, but you saw that takedown attempt. You saw him spin out of it and actually land the back fist. That's what Vadim needs to do. Do not let him get the free opportunity and not have to pay for it.
Mentioned Mark Henry, of course. He was behind the legendary Frankie Edgar, who his illustrious career came to an end last week. And I know how much he's inspired Corey Anderson as well. Frankie Edgar more hard than Valentine's Day, and I know he's watching tonight. But for Corey Anderson now here in this first minute and a half of the fight, been on the receiving end of some counter shots like this from Nemkov.
Nemkov has been very successful with that right hand landing against Corey. Corey needs to be very careful. It would behoove Corey to start moving towards his right a little bit to take some of the sting off of that right hand.
The crowd looking to rally Corey, but he gets tagged again. The jab in full effect for Vadim Nemkov. And Anderson has hinted at going for the takedown, but Nemkov has been able to stop him, and Nemkov really working behind the jab, John.
This is very similar to what we saw.
Single leg.
First, this is the difference. You see the tree topping. That's something that you don't get out of the international wrestling. You get a lot of it out of folk style. Beautiful body lock takedown. Right back up to his feet. That's a big element for Vadim right there, but Corey's still on it.
Nice scramble, nice slip, and good start to this rematch for the light heavyweight crowd, just past the midpoint of the first round.
See, and this works very well for Corey because even when he's not successful, he's pushing the pace on Vadim. He's making Vadim work. And one thing we know about Corey, he's got a big gas tank, big lungs, and he knows if he's tired, he's making you tired.
And he's got good head movement as well, able to slip and rip the counter, but Nemkov has been effective with the jab. Under 2 minutes left here in the first. Anderson comes forward, overhand right misses.
Corey needs to settle down with those hands as far as winging the big shot. He's going to do better. He's got a very good, stiff, straight jab. Use that, and the right hand straight down the pipe.
Anderson susceptible to those low kicks, and Vadim Nemkov just attacked the lead leg again, and both miss swinging punches. A minute and a half left in what has been a fast start to this rematch. Fedor Emelianenko, he will challenge Ryan Bader for the heavyweight title in what has been now confirmed as his retirement fight of what is a legendary career, February 4th on CBS. But right now, he is watching his protege, Vadim Nemkov, defend the title.
There might have been a little clash of the heads again on that takedown attempt. And this is, although Corey Anderson is not getting these takedowns, he's making Vadim have to deal with them, and that is an important element. And they did clash heads.
Cross right uppercut, though, by Anderson.
That clash of heads happened again. Nobody was cut. That's good, but these guys are going after it.
And there's a right cross that connects for Nemkov, and Anderson misses, lunging in with the left hook. 30 seconds left in the round. much like the first meeting, a strong start in the striking department of the first round for the... Oh! And Vadim Nemkov, spinning back kick, dropped Anderson. Anderson bounces to his feet, snatches a single, but hot drama at the end of the round. And you talk about the kicking of Vadim Nemkov, clipped the challenger and dropped him before the end of the round, John.
That thing just grazed off of Corey Anderson's head. Look, boom, right off the top. But it hit it with enough power. It definitely rocked him, put him down. You saw Vadim actually take a kick that never touched anything, so it doesn't matter. But so it's a big shot. Here's that head clash. Boom, they both come together as Corey's reaching for that takedown attempt. A nice round again. Vadim Nemkov winning the first round of this matchup just like he did the first time.
But hit the jab first.
He's hitting you on the spot on that jab. Like when you're going under, he's going under your jab. Corey, more time or no shot.
The stats that stand out after that first round, 28-8 total strikes landed in favor of Nemkov. 0 for 4 in the takedown department for Corey Anderson.
Which is a huge element. That's what we talked about.
You ready? Fight.
And although Corey looks good right now, we're going to see what effect that kick had in this round.
I mentioned the stats. What about the unofficial score, John, on your scorecard?
Well, I have Vadim Nemkov winning that round 10-9.
For the reasons we've talked about.
Absolutely. I love the pressure that Corey Anderson continues to try to put. That was a big shot landed by Vadim.
Anderson looking to close the distance. Nemkov able to keep that from happening. Body kick by Nemkov.
So far, what we've seen more is that trip down to American Top Team and all the wrestling that he did there is starting to pay off in this fight.
Training with the likes of newly minted Bellator middleweight champion Johnny Evelyn and others. And you're right, the first fight, Nemkov talked about overtraining, having had other issues, but spent some time this camp in Thailand working on his striking, and down at ATT working on his wrestling, and it's a striking display here tonight as Anderson looks for the takedown, stuffed by Nemkov.
Now Nemkov used a lot of energy in picking Anderson up, sliding him up right there, so that's a good thing for Corey as far as to continue to go back to it, make him have to use that power. Nice
lead hook. Yep, lead left hook there by the champion Nemkov. And again leads with the left. Feinting by Anderson, unable to pull the trigger. And it's the movement, the pressure, the speed of Vadim Nemkov, although Anderson landed the jab, and again Anderson looking for the takedown. Clinches with Nemkov. Bigger Anderson trying to back Nemkov to the cage, and Nemkov doing a good job. Look at this battle, John.
Fantastic job of continuing the circle, not allowing Corey to push him into the cage.
Interesting, the grip and the way he's keeping his arms out and able to break off and reset at the center of the cage. So a great start to this rematch for the defending champion, Vadim Nemkov. Spinning back kick again for Nemkov. And there, Anderson slipping the jab but doesn't return fire.
Very nice little head movement left and right by Corey.
2 minutes left in the second. Crowd here in Chicago looking to rally. Illinois' Corey Anderson in the biggest fight of his life.
It really looks like Corey Anderson shook off that kick that landed at the end of the first round. He's not showing any effects from it. He's looking good.
Spinning back fist attempt by Nemkov.
Both these guys throwing a lot of heat at times.
Nemkov has already thrown 137 strikes with just over a minute left here in the second round total. And there's Anderson. That's with the left.
That was a nice left hand. Missed that opportunity on the takedown. Just came up with the left hand.
Final 60 seconds of the second stanza inside. Low kick by Anderson and timeout after. Anderson got popped.
There's an accident. Inside kick. You got to keep it a little higher, okay? You're right there.
Not sure how clean it landed, but it did land. You could hear it.
Yeah, Anderson popping Nemkov. And
yep,
wow,
that's pretty clean.
To split the uprights.
Nemkov obviously didn't hurt him. Right back to it.
Back to it, indeed.
Which says a lot when you're thinking about it, because if he was getting tired, would he not have taken more time? Because he's in control that time. So obviously he's feeling good in this fight right now.
Oh, and a much better second stanza for the defending champion compared to what happened in their first meeting when Anderson was able to secure the takedowns.
Corey really looking to put the pressure on Vadim.
Anderson scores with a calf kick at the end of the second, but the numbers favor the light heavyweight champion, Vadim Nemkov, who will receive instructions from one of the greatest to ever do it, Fedor Emelianenko, and his coach, Conan Silveira.
Вначале пробивал хорошо, а сейчас ты ее кидаешь вот сюда. Он ее перекрывает, он видит, перекрывает. Понял? Поэтому ногу прикорми, разок-два. Когда сближаетесь, рвешь дистанцию.
He's going spot on you. You got to keep moving the head. He's going here, he's going here, he's going here. He's throwing the two right here. So you got to make sure that you're getting your head to the outside.
That's why side two is working. You're getting your head off.
He's
Even if you have to go body head.
He's lowering his volume. The 31 is there, but you got to get to the hip.
Very good advice from the corner of Corey Anderson. Ricardo Almeida and Mark Henry giving him advice about where he needs to put himself as far as head movement and where Vadim is putting himself so they can land shots. We'll see if it works for him.
You ready? Fight!
Round number 3. Double jab, double pump in the jab as the defending champion. Well, Corey Anderson looking again for the takedown, and again defended by Nemkov. Now 0 for 7 for Corey Anderson.
Completely different than the first time they matched up.
And you mentioned it, the specific reason he went to Florida was to work on his wrestling, both offensively and, more importantly, defensively.
That's exactly why. The defense was the biggest part. Get used to the way a folk-style wrestler goes after that single or double leg that Corey utilizes, the tree topping, and he's done very well at stopping all of it so far.
Nemkov has done a great job of continuing to land the jab and to keep Corey Anderson from delivering punches. Blood on the face along the eye, the right eye of Vadim Nemkov. Double jab again by the champ. Doesn't follow with the right hand, and he has a good right hand as well.
He's got a very good right hand, a lot of power on it.
There's a left to the body, the jab to the face of Anderson. And Nemkov ducking underneath that sweeping left hook from Anderson. Anderson looking to time the shot, and again under overhook, and now a clinch by Nemkov. He's done a tremendous job of stymieing the takedown attempts.
Yes, he has, but the one thing, if you're Corey Anderson, do not get frustrated by that. Just continue on. Say, nope, didn't get that one. Let me just keep working. But Corey Anderson now has a cut over his right eye.
1, 2, 3 by Nemkov. Nemkov looking for the takedown. Anderson putting on the pressure.
That was a big, when you saw Nemkov back off Again, there was a clash. Now it was on his jaw, but Corey Anderson's head clashed into the jaw of Nemkov.
Anderson lands the right, slipping his head to the left. Left talking, now the crowd beginning to sense that Corey Anderson trying to work his way back into this fight, midway point of the third.
And a lot of people, they don't realize, first off, Corey cannot strike with his head in any fashion, and we have had people that the head landing on the jaw hurts the person enough to put him down, knock him out. It definitely can do damage.
There's a counter jab from Corey Anderson. 2 minutes left in the third round, and Nemkov, not as many kicks in this round. Well, I say that, he goes for one, of course he does.
Well, he hurt you.
Yeah. But it's pressure from Anderson, and yet the terrific takedown defense of Vadim Nemkov. Now 0 for 10, John, in the takedown department for Corey Anderson, which, let's face it, the takedowns, ground and pound, his bread and butter.
And right now, Nemkov is just slowly adding up as far as the strikes. He's the one landing. He's throwing more. He's landing a little bit more. Corey's going to have to up the accuracy. Looked like a mouthpiece came out.
Doubling up on the jab, but not following it up with the right hand. 60 seconds left in the third round.
You got to wonder, maybe he hurt his right hand somewhere along here, because as you're saying, he is really using that left hand a lot, but being very, very frugal in when he throws the right like he just did.
They're definitely judicious when it comes to delivering the right. Meanwhile, there's a left from Anderson. So, in the first fight, a strong start by the champion in the opening round thanks to his jab and kicks, but the second and third was all about the takedown and the offensive top pressure, the ground and pound from Anderson before the clash of heads in the final seconds of the third, and we are wrapping up the third round here in the rematch, but a much different fight.
Completely different fight right now. The difference being Corey has not been able at any moment to get this fight to the ground other than one scrambling moment.
After he throws, he's dipping. So counter with the body shot. Body shot right, body shot left. Just be careful those splits. You might go to head kick because you're over splitting. You follow what I'm saying? Keep those hands up when you're splitting. He's going double shot. Okay.
We need the next 2 rounds, Corey.
We gotta get the next 2.
We don't know. The last 2 you could have won, but we need the next 2.
You gotta give me 3.
Hey, it's time to take over, Corey.
Heading into the championship rounds, and Vadim Nemkov, and we've seen in the past where he's had some issues with the gas tank in the later stages of fights, but here tonight it's a good pace for the champion. He seems in much better shape than he did in their first meeting, and for Corey Anderson, you talk about not wanting to get frustrated. He does have to make adjustments.
He does. He's going to have to change up his ability to land the shots because, first off, he's not throwing as much as Nemkov, and he's not landing as much. So it's just a matter of, then you look at power. Well, Nemkov's been landing with power. Corey's landed a couple of good ones, but it's a matter of he's just not having enough of the wrestling. It hasn't gotten him into him, and he hasn't been able to take him down, and that's what makes Corey so deadly.
And Anderson doesn't check those low kicks to the lead leg again. A shot from long distance, telegraphed, read beautifully by Nemkov, who continues to work the jab, follows it up with a right uppercut. And you saw the unofficial scorecard of Big John McCarthy. It's Nemkov pitching a shutout. And now, there's Anderson Crushing space and has Nemkov along the fence, but immediately the champion able to spin out, reset.
Corey throws a nice jab, but the counter by Vadim lands with a little bit more. And normally it's Corey Anderson that is the better counter striker.
Right.
He does a great job with his counter strikes. And in this matchup, he has actually been out counter striked by Vadim for most of it.
Matt Nemkov really loves to use what is a really important punch, and we've talked about it throughout our time working together. The jab is so effective in all forms of combat sports, and it's proving to be a punch that's dictating the terms of this fight for Nemkov.
Absolutely, man. If you've got a good, stiff, straight jab, you can set another fighter back on their heels at any moment in the fight, and that takes energy away from them. It sets them off balance. It makes them feel not comfortable in the fight. Right there, beautiful low calf kick.
Yes.
He needs to go right back to it. After knocking him down with that, go right back, just like he just did.
And it is definitely taking a toll on Corey Anderson's takedown attempts. We're becoming more and more telegraphed.
Absolutely. When you take away that foundation, like you're seeing happen right now with Nemkov and those kicks, it makes it very difficult for Corey to utilize that foundation to get those takedowns.
Again, the mouth guard is out of the mouth of Vadim Nemkov, and frustration beginning to show on the part of Corey Anderson, who not going according to game plan so far tonight. Beautiful jab and the outside low kick by Nemkov.
Yeah, we're going to see if Corey starts to change his stance, because that low calf kick is starting to eat up his left leg.
And he is eating far too many jabs to the face, John.
You know, and his corner told him, hey, we need you to win these 2 rounds. And he's trying, he's going after it. He's just not landing at the same volume as Nemkov.
Nemkov, the 8th Bellator light heavyweight champion, defeated current heavyweight champ Ryan Bader via second-round TKO at Bellator 244 in August of 2020. Anderson coming forward, John.
That was a good right hand landed by Anderson that started it. We'll see if he can...
Looking for the takedown, but continues to be shut down. And, man, that mouth guard does not want to stay in the mouth.
Continue to fight, because right now, Corey Anderson has a chance at a takedown. Jason Herzog is not going to stop this. Now he'll stop it.
Right down in your mouth.
When Corey Anderson was in the UFC, he was a takedown machine and has used those takedown abilities to make it to the final of the Grand Prix. Tonight, Corey Anderson, with 30 seconds left in the penultimate round, is 0 for 13 in the takedown department. Nemkov with a quick peek at the clock, and he is content to let the jab go, continue to keep Anderson at bay, continue to keep Anderson from taking him down.
Опять такой же раунд, можно туда-сюда, понимаешь? Ты весь раунд набираешь, что-нибудь перетыкиваешь, хоть-нибудь, но он потом раз, 2-3 атаки, его вниз опять. Нельзя допускать. Концовочку пробует, но оставалось.
Take a look at the right hand here by Nemkov. Almost Superman punched it. You see Corey swinging after it. Misses completely. But this kick right here, and this was the difference in this round, that low calf kick. Nemkov, if you want to talk about the most damaging things that happened in that round, it was that
right there, the low kicks by Nemkov on Corey's lead leg, it made a big difference in this round.
Nemkov's ability to stymie the takedown, effective in the jabbing department, and we know, we talked about Anderson's vulnerability to those crushing leg kicks. Fifth and final round. Who will emerge? Grand Prix champion, $1 million richer, and the right to call themselves Bellator light heavyweight champion. It's Vadim Nemkov, light on his feet to kick off round 5, and he continues to sting Anderson with the jab and those low kicks.
Look, he's going to basics that are working for him. He keeps on going back to them. You can't blame him. That left jab has been fantastic throughout this fight. The low calf kick has done damage. Corey needs to figure out a way to come inside and do damage with his hands that could put him in a position to possibly take it down and get to that ground and pound that he's so effective with.
Corey Anderson told us that he's still fighting to make believers out of his doubters, and everyone who, over the years, from odds makers to even people, media, to former bosses, he wanted his respect, he demanded his respect. Here in Bellator, began his Bellator career, 3 consecutive TKO finishes, and after the no contest in their first meeting, unable to get on track thanks to the improvements of the champion, Vadim Nemkov.
And this is where you've got 2 great fighters. Man, you never know. One night could be Corey Anderson's night. One night could be Vadim Nemkov's. This could go where we have a trilogy, and it could change. But both guys putting a lot out right now. Beautiful right hand by Vadim Nemkov.
Well, Anderson has less than 3.5 minutes to change the complexion of this fight. And there, Nemkov going for the spinning attack again. Anderson moving in. There's the left hand from Anderson. Anderson again. Oh, trying the takedown and get, yes, John, eats the knee and the inability for Anderson to even set up the takedown is a little surprising. 0 for 15.
It's amazing when you think about it. When you know how good Corey is with his takedowns, the fact that Nemkov has stopped that throughout this fight.
A bravura performance in the takedown defense department by Vadim Nemkov.
Well, he definitely is going to owe a steak dinner to everybody over at ATT that helped him to get to this point. Again, unable to bring him down.
And even Corey Anderson moved to a gym in Indianapolis from, working in New Jersey. And, of course, we know what Mark Henry has meant to him. But on this night, with 2:19 now left in the fight, Corey Anderson needs something dramatic to happen.
And it's so hard at this point with everything that's happened in the fight. Your arms are full of lactic acid, real heavy. You're still trying to go after it like you're seeing Corey do right here.
Final 2 minutes. Hometown crowd trying to rally the challenger.
Oh!
Crossed by Nemkov.
Solid right hand landed by Nemkov there.
There's another calf kick by the champion.
Well, I'll tell you, you can see how that's starting to really stiffen up on Corey. Corey's showing a lot of heart right now, Mauro.
Yes. But sometimes, as one of his good friends, Frankie Edgar, found out too, sometimes heart isn't enough. And we find out here tonight that Corey Anderson, unable to land a single takedown against the champion. Vadim Nemkov, meanwhile, has thrown 360 strikes, landed 137 compared to Anderson, who is 64 for 175. Vadim Nemkov came in 7-0 with the 1-0 contest here in Bellator, and bouncing back with one of his more impressive performances as champion, especially when you consider what Corey Anderson Anderson is usually capable of.
Absolutely, this is a great performance because we know how good Corey Anderson is as a fighter. This is a guy that's got everything. He's got the wrestling, the stand-up, the gas tank, and Vadim Nemkov has matched that throughout this night. It's been a very impressive performance.
Vadim Nemkov shutting down Corey Anderson in all facets of the fight.
Throughout the night, that jab and that right hand found the mark on Corey Anderson. Corey coming back with some counters, but trying to avoid that jab caused him a lot of distress in that uppercut. Then the low kicks came in and just ate up the left leg of Corey Anderson throughout this fight. A couple of head clashes happened again between Corey and Nemkov. It's just the way their styles match up. No one was intentionally doing anything wrong. But wow, what a performance by Vadim Nemkov, coming back and just being a takedown defender.
And a championship defender. As Vadim Nemkov did what was necessary, went to ATT in Florida, worked on his wrestling, American freestyle style of wrestling, and Fedor Emelianenko, who again will have an opportunity to close out his incredible career by winning the Bellator Heavyweight Championship in a rematch with Ryan Bader, who knocked Fedor out. That'll happen February 4th on CBS, but right here, right now, Vadim Nemkov appears to be, well, there should be no doubt about it. Vadim Nemkov should remain undefeated in the Bellator cage and should remain light heavyweight champion, adding $1 million to his bank account. Corey Anderson, always a student of the game, already breaking down the performance and analyzing it. Who will be the Bellator light heavyweight world Grand Prix winner, light heavyweight champion, and $1 million richer? Michael C. Williams has the answer.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we go now to your three judges at cage side. Your first judge, Brian Pucillo, scores the fight 48-47. Judge Ron McCarthy, 49-46. And your third and final judge, Sal D'Amato, 49-46. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision. Now the $1 million winner of the light heavyweight world Grand Prix, and still Bellator light heavyweight world champion, Vadim Nemkov.
The Trosso performance from Vadim Nemkov shatters Corey Anderson's dreams of becoming a champion. Big John McCarthy is standing by with the winner and still Bellator champion.
I'm here with the winner, Vadim Nemkov. Vadim, you put on a masterful performance. There was 15 takedown attempts by Corey Anderson during that fight, and he got absolutely zero. What was the difference that made you able to stop those takedowns this time?
Вадим, отлично ты выступил. Кори Андерсон пытался 15 раз тебя повалить в партер, и все эти 15 раз ты защитил. Почему в этот раз ты смог это сделать?
Потому что я хорошо подготовился. У меня не было никаких подводных камней. И я развил очень высокую скорость, против которой он ничего не смог сделать. В этом заключался мой секрет успеха. Как я говорил, я в реваншах всегда побеждаю, если в меня не верят.
He said, just because I was well prepared, I wasn't distracted, and I kept a very high pace and a lot of movement. And like I said, in rematches, I never lose. You guys didn't believe me.
Not that I didn't believe you, but your left hand, your jab, and that low calf kick were a difference maker in this fight. Was that the plan you had coming in?
Левый удар, джеб и лоу-кик очень помогли тебе в этом бою. Это был план на бой? Именно использовать эти приемы?
Да, я хотел держать его на джебе на расстоянии. Я знаю, что он на переднюю ногу сильно опирался, я хотел ее разбить. Но у меня получилось то, что я нарабатывал. Левый джеб, держать его на дистанции, разбить переднюю ногу. Иногда я подключал правую, но он хорошо держит удар, поэтому не получилось свалить его.
He said, yeah, that was a game plan, to keep him away with the jab. And then he's front foot heavy, so I wanted to make sure I kick it and then use the right hand when I can. But he's pretty good at taking punches, so.
Well, I want to congratulate you as the Bellator light heavyweight champion and the Bellator World Grand Prix light heavyweight champion. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Vadim Nemkov.
Vadim Nemkov celebrating with the legend.
On February 4th, from the Forum in Inglewood, California, Vadim Nemkov's next opponent will be Yoel, the Soldier of God Romero. They will face off on CBS February 4th from the Forum.
So Vadim Nemkov, fresh off of retaining the title in the Grand Prix final, he will next defend the crown against Yoel Romero as part of that blockbuster event, Bellator MMA, making its debut on CBS Saturday, February 4th, a championship doubleheader. The main event, Ryan Bader defends the heavyweight crown against that man, Fedor Emelianenko, in a rematch in what has been announced as Fedor's retirement fight. Well, Vadim Nemkov adding $1 million to his nest egg, and more importantly for him, maintaining his grip on the Bellator light heavyweight title in the rematch against Corey Anderson. One statistic that screams out loud. Anderson going 0 for 15 in the takedown department. I know Josh Thompson, Amanda Guerra, you've got a lot to say about that.
Absolutely, and first of all, it's so cool to see Vadim Nemkov there alongside Fedor. We're both going to see those two friends on that same card coming up on February 4th. Josh, what do you make of Vadim Nemkov? Because he corrected nearly everything from that first fight.
He did correct everything, but as it was a snowball effect, I'm going to go back to that first fight, is that Corey was seconds away from having to go to the judges' scorecards, and he was winning on the judges' scorecards. He would have won the Grand Prix tournament and the $1 million. In this fight, as the takedowns weren't coming and the minutes were slipping away and the rounds were slipping away, frustration setting in. Realizing you can't get to the legs, realize you can't get the takedowns. Because Nemkov had done so well in his preparation and training with guys like Johnny Evelyn, Dalton Rasta, Austin Vanderford, and all of those guys, you saw the difference. You saw the distraction was not there anymore because of what was going on back at home and then doing his home camp here. That is the Nemkov that we have learned to fall in love with, and the fighting style which he brought was fantastic tonight.
It was an absolutely incredible performance from the champ there, and still Vadim Nemkov. We have a new champion as well in the lightweight division in Usman Nurmagomedov. It has been quite a night here at Bellator 288. Bellator MMA returns Friday, December 9th with a 4-fight card worth its weight in gold. Kicking off the night is undefeated in 5th-ranked middleweight Dalton Rasta facing stiff competition in Anthony Davis. Then number 2-ranked bantamweight Patchy Mix goes toe-to-toe with Magomed Magomedov in a 5-round battle to secure a position in the Grand Prix finals. Plus, the former flyweight champ Juliana Velasquez is on the hunt to reclaim her gold and glory after losing the belt to Liz Carmouche in this anticipated rematch. And in the main event, the trash talkers collide on the road to the $1 million prize as the interim bantamweight champ Rafion Supastats faces off against Danny the Italian Gangster Sabatello. Both fighters are unbeaten in the Bellator cage. That is December 9th on Bellator 289. Before we do sign off here from Bellator 288, we want to recognize a very valued member of our crew. We lost just a few short weeks ago Brian Muster, one of our video operators, the son of our senior video operator, Hans Muster, died suddenly in mid-October. He leaves behind a fiancé, 2 small children. Brian will be greatly missed at our Bellator events, and our hearts are with the entire Muster family. There is your winner, Vadim Nemkov, walking off with the belt. Not a long time to rest for him, as we are now going to see him on that card February 4th going up against Yoel Romero. But at least a little time to celebrate. Here's what we saw tonight to begin with 8-0 Roman Feraldo. Those 8 wins, all knockouts. Was looking for more of the same tonight, but Levon Chokely was ready for the game plan. He dominated and handed Roman Feraldo the first loss of his career. A battle of heavyweights. Daniel, the American Predator, making his return to the Bellator cage in front of his hometown crowd in Chicago at 6'6". Looking to use his size to finish Tyrell Fortune. He did just that. Put him on his back. In Battle of Featherweights, Daniel Weichel, the 56th fight of his career, going up against a guy who used to watch him growing up, Timur Hizriev. He wins, dominating the entire fight, moving to 12-0. Our co-main event, Patricky Pitbull, Usman Nurmagomedov. Patricky tied for the most knockouts in Bellator history, put his belt on the line, but Usman Nurmagomedov, undefeated at 15-0, wins the belt and adds a title to his name. And finally, the main event, a rematch of the Bellator Light Heavyweight World Grand Prix. Corey Anderson, Vadim Nemkov, meaning 7 months after. It was a different Vadim Nemkov than we saw in